Hello, Internet. This is Luke Arp, also known as the Dancing Fetus.
And goddammit.
And it's our weekly podcast, the Idle Mouths podcast. We got a couple of topics that we want to hit. The first one being what's exploding on Reddit and 4chan and a few lesser-known gaming media outlets. I won't even call them media outlets, more like vloggers and stuff like that. And it's
because the main ones aren't touching it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty much Zoe Quinn. She's a female indie developer that developed a game called Depression Quest, and a game's a strong word.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about the scandal, I'm just gonna read my favorite Steam review for the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn accurate review.
It's a free game on Steam, so if you want to check it out, go on Steam, click it. It's free to play. But here's the review. It was by a Steam user called Driver Shaft. This is his review. I don't care if the developer of the game was bullied online. I don't care if the developer of the game is a girl. I also don't care whether a game is action or not. This should have been a choose-your-own-adventure book sold on Amazon that most people wouldn't care about. The argument over whether it is or is not a game is still up in the air, but it's really silly when some YouTube videos have more gameplay through their annotations than this. The only reason anybody gives a shit about this... Wait, hold on. I added shit. I added profanity to his review. I'm going to start that paragraph over. The only reason anybody gives this title any slack is because it has to do with depression and because of the developer being a woman, when that shouldn't really matter. Journey for the PS3 was developed by a woman and was a far better experience that won numerous awards. If not having women in the video game industry is an issue, then we need more female devs like that and less like Zoe Quinn, who are getting huge pats on the back for making something less impressive than Zork. I don't know what Zork is, but I bet it's a shitty game.
It has to be pretty shitty if he's using it as a
As a benchmark.
Yeah.
And he has a PS. PS. Most professional developers don't get into half the controversy as this dev has. And it's not because she's a woman. I don't see Jade Raymond having a blog about her. And you know why? Because when you actually work in a professional industry, you have an image to present. If this title was called Ice Cream Quest and played the exact same way, it would be greenlit, and everybody knows this. And that was just a funny review.
Yeah.
The game pretty much is a web page. Apparently, the game Depression Quest was a web page at some point where you would just go and you'd click links, and that was all there is. So they pretty much just leached the website and put it up on Steam as a free-to-play game. And she is getting like ridiculous amounts of praise for this game. And
but everything you read as far as
users,
user reviews, all negative.
And let's talk about this praise for a second. Now, this is all not 100% speculative, because it is confirmed that she has had sexual relations with prominent figures
in five different
prominent figures in games media. But so maybe some of this praise is not really warranted. A Reddit user kind of posted a synopsis of the scandal. His username is Hamlet9000, and he has it broken up into 6 categories of the scandal. So I'm just going to read through that. There's a whole lot more. If you want to read about this, just type in Zoe Quinn scandal on Reddit, or just Zoe Quinn,
or Quinngate,
because that's apparently any scandal that happens anymore. They have to put gate after it because Nixon. I don't know, but this is his pretty much rundown, and this is really how I got interested in it. Was just reading this. Number 1. This is by Hamlet9000. Zoe Quinn's ex-boyfriend posted a huge online screed. He posted something online, paraphrasing the user, accusing her of all sorts of horrible things. These allegations included cheating on him with 5 people. And because of that, in the thing, he has a nickname for her called Burgers and Fries, after the fast food chain.
Burgers and fries, fucking dudes. I don't
know. But, and number 2. Some of the people she was sleeping with were games journalists who also wrote articles and/or reviews that promoted the game Zoe Quinn had created. The fact that Zoe Quinn slept with at least some of these people has been independently confirmed, but there is an open question about whether or not the relationship with the journalist started before or after the articles were actually wrote. So again, a lot of the scandal is speculatory.
Yeah.
She did have sex with these people, but
And again, you know, as a personal opinion, like, we don't care if a chick sleeps with a ton of dudes. Like, I'm not gonna call a girl a slut.
yeah, this is not slut shaming.
Yeah, it's not anything like that. It's just, you know, if you're just trying to climb a ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, like I said, it's pure speculation. But if
Yeah.
the whole hypothetical thing, if you are trying to climb a ladder using, you know, your vagina,
Yeah, and
or,
I mean, I
or your
understand.
dick, like, you know, it's not.
I 100% understand. I mean, I like my wife a whole lot more because she fucks me
Well,
than
and
if
also,
she didn't fuck me.
Well, also, you know, I mean, actresses do it a lot.
Yeah,
You just don't hear about it.
yeah,
Like, they don't say, you know, she got a casting call because she blew a dude.
it happens.
It happens, yeah.
Right.
I mean, you know.
But
It,
on to number 3 of this weird scandal. There are additional allegations that Zoe Quinn has faked claims of harassment in order to create publicity for herself and her games. These claims are now being directly tied to Zoe's allegedly inappropriate relationships with journalists because those journalists helped publicize her harassment claims. Pretty much just saying that she's being bullied for being a woman.
which
And
is,
so she's getting a whole lot of like pats on the back, especially from the the mainstream media has picked up this story, but it's really just like talking about how
they've spun it to where
4chan and Reddit are just like
evil and
bashing this chick just for being a girl in games
now I
development.
will say that, you know, 4chan is pretty hard on
the
people
B-tards will fuck people up.
but at
just
the same
hell of it.
time, like, you know, sometimes they are really smart about how, you know, they talk about things. It's not all just
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of jokes thrown in, you know, throughout the whole thing, but at the same time, like, there also is a lot of you know, intelligent people there that lay the shit straight.
Yeah.
And a lot of
It's hard
you
to
know,
sift through the troll. That's why I like Reddit, because Reddit's kind of like 4chan with like
with
a troll
rating,
guard.
with rating on karma and stuff.
Yeah. So, number 4. Again, there's 6 of these. Zoe has also been accused of attacking a pro-feminist game design competition by accusing it of misogyny and oppression. Once again, the journalist she is accused of having inappropriate relationships with helped target the organization in question using their journalistic credentials. So, she is attacking another pro-feminist game design competition, really with their only goal is to get more girls interested in game development. And I think not only just girls, all races. Like, the more diverse people you have in games, the more diverse ideas.
Yeah, because you know, people come from different backgrounds, ethnicities, creeds, everything.
The more
and,
viewpoints you have, the better your end product could be.
Yeah.
And apparently, the speculation is because she's trying to run a similar event, and I guess how that makes sense.
Like conflict of interest of
Yeah.
you know, well, there can only be one.
Yeah, it's like
So
because
she's
Comic Con exists,
Yeah, so
Dragon Con can't.
Yeah, she's the Highlander of. She's like, I come from the McLeods. There can only be one, and she's just got to cut the heads off of every, you know, everybody in the industry. I don't understand that at all because, like, just like you're a fellow YouTuber,
Yeah.
and what did we do? We teamed up for a podcast,
Yeah.
and we team up for, you know, playing games and having a good time, like spreading whatever shit this is to people, you know, that
Yeah.
want to watch it or
Yeah,
you know, or listen to it.
We wanted to join a part of a community. Like, we realize, like, I'm doing a Soldier of Fortune Let's Play right now. I realize that if you search Soldier of Fortune Let's Play, there's a 5 billion of them.
No.
I realize that. But I'm playing the game. It's my version of the game.
Mhm.
I'm putting my own commentary on it. If anybody wants to listen and find it interesting, cool.
And if
I mean,
they want to like watch more and subscribe to it, then
yeah, I watch
Awesome.
I watch other people's Let's Play of games that I have videos of just because I enjoy watching people play games that I'm into.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes no sense. Like, the whole point of this indie, like, game jam for getting women involved in game development, if she had hers, it makes the more the merrier.
Yeah.
You know, there's 5 billion of them, great.
You know, that's one more channel that gives the women an opportunity to watch
and show their skills.
And yeah, and to get into that. Man, I mean, just okay, I think it was I'm trying to remember the name of the group. But anyway, there was a girl gaming like badass club is what I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
That you know, women, you know, people scoff still. People are stupid and scoff about girl gamers. The you know, true girl gamers or whatever. And say that they're, you know, they're not as good as guys and all this shit. Bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I played Metal Gear Solid 5. No, I mean, not 5. I played Metal Gear Solid 4 online when Metal Gear Online
was... was one of the funnest onlines that existed.
Okay, but played against a chick, and her name was like LL Cool... I don't even remember what she had on it. But it was like a take on, you know, LL Cool J. But this chick was so badass, like... I would sit a lot of times when I was dead from her shooting me in the face. I would just sit during the respawn thing and just spectate and watch her play. And it was just phenomenal. But this chick, you know, on both teams, we had two, like, huge teams, mainly of guys. And she was number one the whole fucking time. I mean, she was just laying waste to everybody. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. But she was part of the girls' gaming...
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
group
syndicate or whatever.
Syndicate. They're underground.
They're underground. But no. I mean, like, but stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm actually glad for that.
Yeah.
I think there should be more things like that because, you know, there's so many girls that still like kind of feel like they have to be ashamed.
I don't think they have to be ashamed. I mean, I'm
not so much anymore, but they get put in this like.
I will say this. I'm kind of anytime there's a girl that says she's good at gaming, it's like she has to prove herself before I'll believe her.
I do that with guys though too.
I think I might, maybe I do that with everybody, but like,
because I mean, you know, if a guy's just like, man, I'm fucking badass at this game, it's like, all right, here's
show
the controller,
me,
man.
Yeah. Funny story. We'll get back into the scandal here, but kind of speaking of
back in 20 scandal.
But you remember this. I won't say his name, but this guy comes to my house. I've never met him before in my entire life. I play fighting games. Am I amazing? No. Can I beat the shit out of button mashers? Yes. Almost any fighting game, I will beat you if you're a button masher. But if you're good, you will probably beat the living shit out of me on almost any fighting game, even in real fights. But this guy, he sees that I have Street Fighter 4. He goes, dude, you play Street Fighter 4? I'm amazing at that game, and I will beat the shit out of you. Beat the shit out of you in that game. I'm like, okay, well, do you want to play? Because I had 2 fighting sticks. It's fair. And he's like, yeah, but just know I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Well, he was so fucking bad at that game. I literally perfected him like 3 or 4 times, and then he threw my stick. I had to kill him. He's dead. First time I met him, dead. No, but I just hate people like that. Like, first of all, have some humility.
Yeah.
About how good you are.
Well, it's always that whole thing. You never underestimate your opponent.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, well, I asked him, I mean, I'm a douche a little bit. So after I perfected him the first time, like, I thought you were good. So I kind of maybe instigated his rage. But still.
Well, still, yeah.
I mean, you sell yourself like that?
I mean, I had somebody on Super Street Fighter 4 that, you know, when I was playing Bison, I main Bison, and I'm not like amazing at it. I can usually hold my own against.
Yeah, you normally beat me about 60% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun with it, but I don't consider myself to be like great.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, I was playing online against somebody, and we kind of do some douchey moves if we're just trying to like teach somebody something. But one of the people in a match, they just kept taunting.
Yeah.
Over and over. So I just started throwing them.
Yeah.
And like every time they get up, I just walk over and throw.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend at the time was just like, quit being a dick, you know, you're just throwing them around. I was just like, if they knew what they were doing, they'd tech it.
Yeah.
It's just like, if they're not going to tech it,
yeah,
and they're not going to fight me, they're
way.
just going to taunt. I was like, I'm just going to fucking
Well,
throw
I mean,
them.
if you're in a fighting game and someone's letting you do the same move over and over again. That's not called cheeseballing.
That's called capitalizing.
Yeah, like if I play Ryu, and if someone's gonna let me fireball them to death, I'm going to fireball them to death.
What's great is if I can get a copy of Super Street Fighter 4 again, I could probably it's probably still on my PlayStation. The replay.
Oh, the
If I
replay?
go to the replay channel, I could probably record that and
Yeah.
put it up because I have that of me just throwing the person.
I have a couple funny replays on there, but
Anyway,
back to the scandal at hand. This
scandal.
Yeah, none of us, talking about our MLG skills, poning motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I forgot that dubstep played
Yeah.
after I finished the match.
That was probably the worst dubstep
That was
beatboxing
like-
in the history.
That was kind of like a sports,
Yeah.
coming back.
You ready for this? All right. Number 5 of Scandal. I don't know how number 4 broke off on a tangent of us being somewhat badasses at fighting games, but it did. Number 5. Zoe has been using DMCA. If you don't know what that means, that's pretty much like a strike on a YouTube channel. It's saying that this is copyright infringement, this video must come down, and the person who posted the video gets a strike on their channel. And if they get 3 strikes, their channel is deleted. Like, YouTube puts them at a good standing. They can't monetize any videos, and they're gone.
Yeah,
So it's a big fucking deal.
it's a kill. Like you have to start a new channel.
Yeah, and
Filthy Frank actually he cut his Disaster Music channel to where it's pretty much just a library now, and he's doing all uploads to TV Filthy Frank because he said he had like 2 strikes and didn't want to lose the channel, so he just
moved it.
he's moving it.
All right. So Zoe has been using DMCA claims to take down negative reviews of her games and also videos of people talking about the current controversy. Simultaneously, a number of games journalism sites began censoring and deleting articles talking about the controversy. Then sites like Reddit began deleting tens of thousands of comments and submissions talking about the controversy. This raised fresh questions about censorship and the exact mechanisms of censorship that are being employed. Is Zoe just threatening legal action? Are these diverse organizations acting in good faith on their opinion that this is just a personal matter? Or is this more evidence of inappropriate influence Zoe's relationship with journalists allows her to exercise? This is kind of bullshit. This shouldn't be censored.
No. If people can go and talk about, like there was a girl that killed herself, it's probably been like 6 or 7 years ago. There's a girl that killed herself. People had conversations about that, and they were, ranging from as positive as you could get towards her life to as negative towards her life as you could get. No, supremely negative. And none of that stuff got taken down. It was just one of those things where people were posting anonymously and, nobody, it's still moderated.
Yeah.
Yeah, even 4chan is moderated. If you have ridiculous...
Don't get bumped.
Yeah, if you have ridiculous shit, though, and they see it as being just completely just bad, it's gone. But, it's just if you break board rules and things like that.
Yeah.
But
stuff
like this.
I'm fine with trolling shit being taken down for this. Like if people were just calling her a slut and a whore and shit delete that. But if someone's legitimately bringing up,
if it's just like we are right now talking about this, and this got us a strike or something, that's just bullshit.
Yeah. Because all we're doing...
all it is news, pretty much. We're reporting something.
And this is a big deal. It's serious if this game is getting media attention and promotion on websites strictly because of her influence from inappropriate relationships.
Yeah.
She's not getting there on merit. I'm not saying that she's not getting there from... Her game does not appeal to me. I'll say that, but that doesn't mean it's a shitty game.
I can say that there are other people that give themselves their own negative attention. Phil Fish, for example.
Phil Fish.
Recently,
fuck that cocksucker.
In his tweet rampage, where
I'll give Phil Fish this. He did not fuck anyone for his attention. He earned it by being a cockbag.
Yeah. No, and see, that's what I'm saying, though. Him being a cockbag is not getting him any positivity.
Yeah.
She's being a bitch with adding all these bans on people's shit.
Yeah, and she's getting
she's
praise
getting
for
praise for it.
Yeah.
And
being
Phil Fish is a fucking dickhole who's the Axl Rose right now of like indie developers, and so he is just fucking himself. Of course, he doesn't care because
maybe he should go fuck Nathan Grayson.
No.
Apparently, if you fuck Nathan Grayson, you get some positive props on Kotaku.
No, I'd rather not even get positive shit on Kotaku, because I read an article about the whole Quinn Gate thing, and
on Kotaku.
No.
I was going to say, do they even have an
no.
article on
It cracked me up though. I had just laughed because it said that Kotaku's reputation was tainted by this, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, Kotaku tainted their own reputation a long time ago because Gawker Media took them over, and it's just clickbait shit, sensationalized journalism.
It's not journalism. Let's make a distinction here. Kotaku, I would say even Polygon, these are bloggers.
Yeah.
These are people that are blogging about games, and I'm fine with that, but just don't act like it's journalism.
But no. I just mean like the just the stupid stuff for articles where they are blogging, but it's about like media other than games, things like that, where like they had one where it was an Avengers 2 thing, and the headline for it was the director was apologizing for Avengers 2.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, well,
apologizing for what?
Yeah, apologizing for what?
You want to know more.
And so you click it, and it's seriously just a paragraph. And all it was is he was pretty much apologizing for the fact that he couldn't put certain things that are going to be in Avengers 2 in Avengers 1. And that was it. And I was like, well,
here's what the title should have been. Director wishes he could have done more with Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Josh Whedon wishes he could have done more with Avengers 1.
But the point is, write an actual fucking article.
Yeah.
Don't just write a paragraph and have it be clickbait for like thousands of people to fucking click on, and then everybody like, God damn it, I just fucking wasted time. I thought that maybe, Joss Whedon had like
fucked up. Like
fucked up.
Did he kill Thor?
It's just like I don't know. But anyway,
Does Tony Stark rape the Hulk?
But that's the reason I say it's like sensationalized journalism. Yeah. It reminds me of that.
Yeah,
I guess I
don't even call it journalism. I think
but
that
I'm saying
writers on
Kotaku
have just as much merit as journalists as we do.
Yeah.
Like, because they're not. Like, when I think of a journalist, I think of like Adam Sessler.
Yeah.
I think of. I would even go as far as say the guys at IGN. I know IGN gets a lot of hate on the internet and stuff, but like Colin Moriarty,
most of those guys do.
Greg Miller. I mean, I would consider them journalists. They're not bloggers. They honestly and here Colin Moriarty. I give him a lot of props. I listen to Podcast Beyond because I'm a Sony fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. I like Sony products. And so I listened to Podcast Beyond, and they had the developers of this new game that came out for Vita. I can't remember the name, but it's like its settings in the Cold War. Looks really cool. And they're talking about this game and stuff. And then, so Colin is friends with the developers. He goes to their studio. So you would think the game's probably, in your head, like, because reviews are bought. This game's a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Gives it a strong 7. Talks about all the problems with the game and stuff because he's a journalist.
Yeah.
And he realizes that he likes these people. He hopes they succeed, and the game's not shit.
Yeah.
But it's not perfect. And, I give them credit for that.
And I give Angry Joe credit for the way he does things.
I don't even consider him a journalist.
No,
he's an opinion guy,
I just mean like how he's fair about it.
Yeah,
like he'll talk to the people who are making the game. Like he'll talk to the developer and say, "Man, I'm really excited about your game.
Please don't be shit.
Please don't be shit."
Yeah, well, he did
I will rape your asshole with words.
If you ever get a chance, watch Angry View's interview with the guys that are making Alien Isolation, and it's so hilarious because you can just see it on Joe's face that he wants this game to be so amazing.
It's just please don't fuck this up.
And he was just like, "Please don't fuck this up."
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck this up for me because I do not want to I don't want to smash you guys.
Because he smashed the shit. Did you watch his was it Risen 3?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh God.
Oh wait, I don't think it was Risen 3.
Yeah, Risen 3 was his newest one. That
I haven't watched that.
Oh, it's bad.
Really?
Yeah,
I-
he's
Are you
like-
sure it's not Sacred 3?
No, 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 no.
Because
no,
Sacred
no,
3 is
no,
horrible.
no. It's Risen 3. Risen 3 looks god awful. He's screaming at it like bad, and he said he's screaming at it because he's just like, you guys fucked up the same way that you fucked up the second goddamn game, and he's just like, why
Well,
would you not fix things like this?
I'm going to have to
But,
watch
oh,
it because I
it's-
liked Risen 2.
No, it looks bad.
Really? Because
It-
Sacred 3, yes, Sacred 3 sucked.
Risen 3 does look like dog shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked Risen 2. It was like a cool, like, pirate RPG.
This game
It
looks
was neat. Well,
It-
I
it
might be
just-
thinking of a different game, but...
no. I mean, that's right,
Okay.
but it looks like dog shit.
Hmm.
Like it looks to me, it just looks alpha.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to get me on a tangent about early access. But, I mean, early access is probably a good time to talk about indie games in general because a lot of indie games on Steam right now are early access games, which I'm 1,000,000,000% against early access.
Yeah, and also
They annoy the shit out of me. I should not have to pay to alpha test
yeah,
your game. If you have a beta and the game and you have a firm release date, I could see early access because it's
but
kind
I
of like
still don't see a price tag like that because I mean, look at Destiny. I paid $5
to pre-order.
for pre-order, got a beta code. They give you 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have friends that are on the same console that you're going to be playing it on, because you got to pick your device.
Yeah.
If I had 3 friends that wanted to play, well, 2 besides myself, that wanted to play, that $5 spread across for 3 keys that I could give to whoever I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and they get beta access for the PS4 version. It was like, I think it was a week.
Yeah.
And it was excellent. You could go on anytime you wanted. There was only 2 days that it was down, and that
Mhm.
was for routine maintenance.
Yeah.
And the servers were up. They ran really well. The experience was really, really good.
It made you happy that you pre-ordered
Yes.
the game.
And it made me want to play the game when it comes out. It made me want to buy it.
Yeah.
Because everything was a very, very positive experience. Resistance 2, I remember getting the beta for that for free.
Yeah.
Played it, positive experience. It had some glitches
mean-
and stuff that they worked out later on, but it made me want to play the game.
The way they
thing was,
kind of
I
pitch
just-
early access, though, is like when you buy into early access, you're becoming a part of the development. Which, again, I'm also completely against that. Like, here's my main problem with Kickstarter. You have a game idea. Like I mean, power to, Tim Schafer and them for making, like, big games and the people who are making Wasteland. I'm sure this is going to be an amazing game. However, like, with Kickstarter, these development teams have a pedigree. Like, a lot of times these big Kickstarters that get actually funded, they come from big studios and they have some good games under their belt and they have an amazing idea. But like the FTL devs started talking about, like, if they went on Kickstarter when they were in the alpha stage and pitched the game that they were making then, and when you sell that game to people and people buy into that game, you are then obligated to make that game. He's like, but a lot of stuff can change from beginning to end. He's like, so if we just sold the game that we initially tried to make, we wouldn't have ever had FTL. Because FTL became
out of something.
else.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's kind of dangerous because, then you're locked in.
There's
You've
no
already sold a
room for-
product
yeah,
that doesn't
there's-
truly exist.
There's no room for growth then.
Yeah. You
I
can't
mean-
just, like, scrap everything and say, these mechanics don't work, fuck that, but this part of the game does work. We'll make a game like this.
A good example as well would be the new Doom, because they scrapped the new Doom twice, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
It's notorious for that, though.
But
They kind of scrapped Rage a couple times, too, if I remember correctly.
I do, but I mean, I remember the gameplay, a lot of it looking similar. Like the screenshots, there are parts, like all the screenshots I saw were still parts in the game. It wasn't like Duke Nukem Forever, where you watch E3 footage over like 10 years and it's always different.
Yeah.
But that was what was cool. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I just discovered that there was, last night on YouTube, that there's a Duke Nukem Forever mod that is using the build engine for Duke 3D.
Yeah, I think it's like the E32 Duke engine.
It's called Build.
Build? Okay.
Yeah. Because they make a joke where they had something about the build engine on a sign,
Mhm.
and the guy was
They
like,
used to use
haha.
Duke32.
Well, this
for
one,
Duke Nukem.
this one may have been, but I mean, they used the build engine per se. Like, I mean, but anyway, the guy, what he did is he went through, because Duke Nukem Forever was not the game it should have been by any means. I finished it, and it was one of those games where I just kind of wanted it to end. I finished it to say I'd finished it, but I didn't really. It wasn't like Duke Nukem 3D where I had like a genuinely fun time the entire time. But anyway, this Duke Nukem Forever mod actually takes you back to where it's pretty much Duke Nukem Forever. All the E3 trailers that had come out through, like, they had like the 2001, 2003, I believe, 2000.
I remember them.
Like,
I had it pre-ordered at Electronics Boutique in like 2000. I had that and Half-Life 2 pre-ordered.
What I do remember the Half-Life 2 pre-order, because you kept being like, when the fuck is this game going to come out? I did the same thing with Doom 3 because they kept pushing it back. I was like, God damn it, stop it. But anyway, all those E3 trailers, they pieced together all those set pieces that are in those, and they're all in like classic Duke 3D style, but you're getting to see all those things that they promised in the originals. They were really cool. You were like, oh shit, that looks really cool, you know?
And it's a free mod.
Yeah, it is. And it's great. It actually is better than the Duke Nukem Forever itself. I mean, it's not up to, Duke Nukem 3D quality, because it's a mod. It's shaky. There's some, real glitchy stuff and things like that. But it's still... Yeah. If you bought Duke Nukem 3D...
It's a free extra content for the game.
If you bought it for PC, there's no reason why you shouldn't, like...
Check it out.
Yeah, if you're a Duke fan, you're like, man, I'd really like to play something that's a take on Forever, but it's like the classic thing. At least check it out.
Yeah, it looks awesome. There's like an hour-long YouTube video of it. Yeah. It's pretty badass looking.
So, but anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Say a plug for them. Well, I mean, I think a lot of indie developers got their start in mods anyway. Like, I know a lot of people talk about that they started making Half-Life 3 mods,
and
or
a lot of
mods.
the people that were in the first-person shooter genre, for a lot of them, they were doing Doom mods.
Yeah, well, Team Fortress was a Quake 1 mod.
Yeah.
And Valve's just like, hey, instead of making a mod, how about you come and make a game for us?
And it worked out great.
Yeah.
I mean, Team Fortress 2 is like one of the most iconic internet sensations.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play game now, too, so there's no point not to check it out.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of funny videos to watch about it.
And I think this is probably a good time to make this point. Indie game is not a genre of games.
Yeah, it's just that the developer and the publisher are one and the same.
Yeah, it's just that means that a dude or a team of dudes and gals made a game and then put it out there for people to play independently of everybody else.
Because there are some games that you would think are indie games.
That are indie games.
Like Child of Light.
Child of Light is not an indie game.
It is a AAA title.
I wouldn't call it AAA because of the funding.
I know, it's not. I'm just
when
saying,
I think AAA, I think they go with budget.
Yeah.
But it's not an indie game.
It's at least an A.
It's made by Ubisoft. Yeah, it's an A.
It's an A game.
It's a double A.
Yeah,
double A ball.
We'll give it a double A.
Yeah, and what is it? Valiant Heart? Yeah, Valiant Heart. Yeah. That's another Ubisoft game. Ubisoft.
Is it Vandal?
I mean, I guess technically, I think it's Valiant Heart.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
But I mean, I guess the true definition of independent, it's true because Ubisoft developed it, Ubisoft published it independently of anyone else. So if you're going to use that broad of a definition, every Valve game is indie.
Yeah.
Because Half-Life 2 would be indie because Valve developed it, Valve published it. I mean, it was published, I think, through, was it EA for the ports on console?
Yes. So I mean, well, I know for a fact that it was for the third party on PS3, and that was the reason it was disappointing compared to the 360 version.
Well, because 360 version was developed in-house, where the PS3 version of Orange Box was
they did a third
party. Which, that's not saying it's going to be bad. But
which it wasn't horrible.
It was horrible.
It wasn't until
the episodes.
The second... Like, the
episode
thing where you go to episode 2 was
unplayable.
1 and 2, yeah, the frame rate gets really bad.
It's bad. It's upsettingly bad.
But at least Portal worked.
Yeah, Portal was fun.
Yeah.
I played them on the PC, but
Team
I bought
Fortress was not worth checking out on the console version.
Didn't get enough updates.
PC,
it was broken.
Yep, PC
free.
the shit out of it because it is free.
Yeah, it just
I know
annoys-
PC plugin like crazy, but it's just
Yeah. It's a good platform to game.
If it works,
Especially like I mean, buy a $400 laptop, plug it up to your TV, get a controller, you got a console.
Which new Bloodborne gameplay trailer, I have to say some stuff about that. It just looks really fun. I know a lot of people are bitching because I don't think it's just a Souls game.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual successor, almost like because
It's like
I talked
BioShock
about
and System Shock.
well, like I talked about with Kingsfield.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is a successor of Kingsfield, so it's not really the same game by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this game will be either because it kind of has has a cool health regen system to where like if you get
it's called Will to Live.
yeah, if you get attacked, if you attack back quickly
And get a hit.
you will get your life, like most of your life back.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like. Honestly, I have nothing that it reminds me of
No,
like this.
most games
you
don't.
get hit, and then you get like a yellow bar
It's a
of how much
window
damage
of-
it can take from you. But
Yeah.
if you hit back before that yellow bar depletes, your health is at like the yellow bar stops going down.
Yeah,
So
and
you
it-
get some of your health back.
It
from
comes
the hit.
back up, and
It like promotes aggressive gameplay.
it's very much the opposite of the Souls games. The Souls games are mostly like defensive maneuvering. This one's mainly just primary offensive.
Yeah.
And like the boss character stuff looks really awesome. I'm just really excited for it.
Yeah.
I threw my money at the monitor whenever I saw it.
It looks pretty awesome. Especially, I mean,
I
have
like
they
the
announced the
setting,
60
too.
frames?
I don't
want to
know
be
if-
that guy. But
I don't.
God damn it.
I don't know if it's 60 or not. Right now, with it being in such an early stage,
I started trying to play Demon Souls on the PS3 just to play it, and granted, the frame rate isn't sluggish, but when you go from Dark Souls at 60 frames on the PC to 30 frames and under on the console for Demon Souls, it's almost unplayable to me. I'm that big of a snob now. I can't fucking do it.
See, I haven't gotten to that level, but I
Release Demon Souls on the PC, Atlas, and so I can play it at 60 frames.
I know people have been asking for that for a long time, but
It's never gonna happen.
But
just
yeah,
like
I just-
apparently with Dragon's Dogma is never gonna come to the PC.
no.
I'd buy that
And
game in a
you
second
know
on the PC.
what's bad is I heard the frame rate was kind of lackluster on that.
Yeah.
I never played it. I have Dragon's Risen like for free
Mhm.
for PlayStation Plus, which PlayStation Plus, that's gonna bring us to our next thing. We got PlayStation Plus and the Vita, and why the hell
Isn't Sony promoting this shit?
Because okay, we can sit and promote the Vita all day to people, but it's not really important what we say a lot of times. It's if people if the
if the company itself isn't backing their own
isn't
product,
pushing it, then why the fuck like
Shuhei Yoshida has literally said these words: "We don't have to talk about the Vita because the Vita's fan base is so devout and energized that they find out stuff about the Vita on their own."
But at the same time, I will tell you that I have had people that I have talked to who
Just think the Vita's dead.
just think the Vita is a piece of shit because they just think it's dead. They're like, this is a joke console thing because like as a handheld, they're like, I had a friend who bought one, two of them for like $20 online. These things are pieces of shit. And I was like, I use my Vita every single day. If for different things for application. I use it to watch YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
I can use it to watch Netflix. But not only that, I mean, tons of great games.
Yeah.
And this thing is an independent or like 2D platforming, RPG, like isometric. I mean, it's a dream.
It is so good that I just wish it wasn't Sony. I wish it was Steam.
I do wish
that released the
that
Vita.
it was a Steam.
Because I mean, granted, there's a lot of like handheld like mini console emulators out there to choose from. There's a dime a dozen of them on Kickstarter,
Yeah.
and they all suck. They all suck fucking balls. I've had some hands on because a couple of my friends really got into them. Like, oh shit, this was amazing. Look at this Kickstarter, and they bought one for like $190. Get it. The analog sticks suck because it's those little stupid circle pads, and it's not the
Yeah.
good circle pads like the 3DS has. It's the shittiest circle. It's pretty much like the PSP.
Retron 5.
No, it's like PSP 1.
Okay.
I guess PSP 1's stupid. PSP,
Yeah.
you know that little shitty analog?
Yeah.
It's like that. And it's horrible.
That nipple button.
The Vita is by far the best put together handheld I've ever had in my entire life. I love playing games on it. I just wish I could play. I buy the majority of my indie games on PC strictly because I get them on accident through Humble Bundles and shit like that.
Well, that's like, I bought Dragon's Crown on the Vita.
Yeah. It was free last month.
Yeah. And I went ahead and got
Again,
it again.
if you have a Vita, here's what you could do if you wanted a Vita. You could get a Vita dirt cheap used.
Yeah.
Like, you can find them used. Sometimes they have a power button issue, but it's apparently a very easy fix. I mean, if you don't feel like cracking open your Vita, get one that's not broke.
Yeah.
But you can find one used on the cheap. I mean, you bought your Vita right when they came out, for the most part, secondhand from a guy that just didn't want it.
Yeah. And I mean,
Said it didn't have any games because he believed the hype.
And yeah, I mean, and he asked me a week later. He was just like, are you liking it? I was like, yeah, man, I use it every day.
Yeah, but I mean, with PlayStation Plus, if you do not want to buy a game for the Vita,
Yeah,
you
pay
will still
$50
play
in a
tons
year,
of stuff on
and
the Vita.
you will play tons of stuff. I have so much shit that like is on my download list from that I just rotate games.
I mean, you got Stealth Bastards for free. Well, on the console, it's called Stealth Incorporated.
It's
because apparently console gamers can't handle the word bastard.
Yeah. But Stealth Incorporated was pretty much like the Super Meat Boy of stealth
Yeah.
games.
You got
Stealth Bastard.
you got Dragon's Crown, which that's a AAA title.
It's a really fun Atlas vanilla.
and it plays
it's
better on the Vita than it does on the PlayStation 3.
because you can tap. There's
Yeah.
certain things where there's a guy that goes around with you and he picks up loot.
Mhm.
And if you just tap the screen while you're playing, and you can also tap walls and stuff that look like they have loose rubble and stuff, like loose brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And like
It's just more intuitive way to play.
Yeah, I mean, and it's quick. Like you think, oh man, I got to tap the screen and everything. It just
You get some mediocre indie titles like Retro City Rampage.
which that game was fun.
It was fun, but it was.
I mean, I know it kind of wore thin after
when you
a little
make
while, but
fun of gaming tropes and then force the player to go through the same gaming tropes, that is, I want to shoot someone.
I did laugh though at all the jokes because I got most
pretty
all
far
of
into
them,
the game
because I got through all the Back to the Future references,
Yeah.
Mega Man, Metal Gear,
Yeah.
all that different shit.
Oh, it's definitely a lot of fan service. If you play a bunch of games, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek fan service there.
Yeah.
However, some of the missions are so infuriating, and if you fuck up the mission, you got to start all the way at the beginning of the mission. There's like
Yeah.
no checkpoints in the mission.
So it's GTA 4.
Yeah. Fuck GTA. That's a game. Sucks. The only thing that makes GTA 4 good is mods.
Yeah.
Because you can be Iron Man. And you can get the Back to the Future car.
Yeah.
And the Back to the Future... If you have GTA 4 for the PC, get the Back to the Future car mod. Because what you do is, once you hit 88 miles an hour, you shoot into the future... And then you just, appear at a different part on the map at a different time frame.
Yeah.
And you get some crazy shit happening.
Now, I will say that the best thing about GTA 4 when it came out was the online.
Yeah.
Because GTA 4 Online, people had sub-games
Yeah.
that they made up that they would play. There was some where they would just walk around in gangs and then have gang wars.
Yeah.
And they had some that were it was crazy. It was two guys would get on a crane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the crane has the arm that swings out. They'd straighten the crane arm out, and the guys would climb up on the crane, and they would knife fight to the death on the top of a crane. And I'm not even shitting you.
Did they do it to beat it? Michael Jackson video reference.
Who's bad? Yeah.
Was it bad? That did that? I thought it was Beat It. No, it was Beat It where they were doing the knife fighting.
I know, but Bad's the Subway thing.
You made me
with Wesley
question my
Snipes.
Jackson knowledge.
No, I was thinking about the Wesley Snipes thing with the Bad music video that was a short film. All those, he did tons of short films.
Yeah.
Those were enjoyable. But
I mean,
anyway,
honestly though, this makes me sad just talking about GTA that there's not a GTA stories on the Vita.
yeah.
PSP had the Liberty City stories and
you can-
Vice City stories.
And you can play them on the Vita, but you play the PSP version.
Yeah, but I mean, why isn't there? I mean, Hell, port Chinatown Wars that nobody fucking played, which is probably one of the best GTA games. It was better than GTA 4. I played it on the
Yep.
DS, and that's a badass GTA.
Which I think they ported it to PSP, didn't they?
Yeah, it was on PSP, but it wasn't as good.
Oh,
Because I didn't like the PSP version because there was a lot of touchscreen stuff they did on the
DS.
the
one.
DS that they couldn't do, but you
Gotcha.
could do it on the Vita because you got two touch
Yeah.
screens on it.
And another thing, Hotline Miami was a lot of fun on the Vita.
Yeah,
And the second one's going to be coming out on the Vita.
yeah.
There, like I said, if more.
But here's what you get from a lot of. I guess we're the hardcore crowd of gamers. We play a lot of different games. We don't care if it's a 2D game. We don't care if it's a 3D game. If
Yeah.
people say the game's good, we want to check it out.
Yeah.
We're that kind of people. There's a lot of people out there that if it's not AAA, they're not picking it up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there. This drives me insane. This comment. We talked about it earlier. All indie games suck. That's impossible to say.
Yeah.
Because indie game is not a genre of games. You can say all point and click suck. I personally like point and click adventure games, but if
Yeah.
you don't like that style of game, they're going to suck to you.
Yeah.
And you can say that pretty confidently that for you, all point and click adventure games suck.
Because you're probably going to just say, well, that's boring.
Yeah.
I don't use my brain.
You can say all first person shooters suck. You can say that. Because almost every first-person shooter, there's a gun, there's a crosshair, and there's a head to be blown off.
But indie is such a broad
But indie
spectrum.
is every type. Indie genre. Fuck. Indie title. Indie title has the exact same diversity of games as AAA.
Yeah.
AAA is not a genre.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is a AAA game. Metroid, AAA game. Mario, AAA game. Those are AAA games. We got a platformer. We got a Metroidvania kind of game. Well, I guess Metroid's not Metroidvania. Metroid's Metroid. What
And
say
now I
that?
will say some of the independent Metroidvania games
Well, that's
that
what I'm
have come out
saying.
are really
Like
awesome.
the same genres exist in indie. You got
Yeah.
Killing Floor, first-person shooter. That's an indie game.
Yeah.
You got Guacamelee. That's a Metroidvania game. Indie.
Yeah.
And platformers. Goddamn, you can't. There's more platformers.
Yeah.
Indie platformer is a genre. That's a genre. Indie platformer.
Yeah, 'cause,
because there's so many goddamn
what was
platformers.
it?
You got Dust Force, Super Meat Boy, and the list goes on. Even though I just named two.
Because they had what, Spelunky and
Spelunky is a
was it-
roguelike
was it-
platformer.
But then what was that fuck, I own that game and I can't remember what it was called. It's
La 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 la. I don't know.
no, shit. Anyway, there is one that it's a lot like a Castlevania type. Use the whip and shit, and it's pretty cool. It's very difficult, but
Well,
it's a
Volgar
PC
the
game.
Viking
Yeah.
is
Volgar is, like I said,
Ghouls
crazy.
and Ghosts
Yeah, it's very
inspired
Ghouls
to
and
me.
Ghosts like. Yeah,
Even
I mean,
like graphically, it looks a lot
oh,
like
I mean,
Ghouls and Ghosts.
the coolest thing I wish I'd have been like I'd known about the Kickstarter thing when that originally started, because you got the most badass thing. You got a mock box that says Mega Drive 16, or well, it's a take on the Mega Drive 16 thing,
Uh-huh.
but it's pretty much a Genesis box, and you open it up and there's a Genesis cartridge thing inside, and you open it up and it's a fucking USB key with the game on it.
That's fucking awesome.
It would have been the best fucking shit. So only the people that like
I wonder if that's on eBay.
heavily kickstarted it got it.
I wonder if someone sold that shit. I bet it's rare since you can only get it through
It
the Kickstarter.
probably is quite rare. But it is one of the most badass things. I was super bummed that I wasn't part of the Kickstarter process because I would have funded the shit out of that.
I've only given money to one Kickstarter for a game, and that was for Grim Dawn.
Yeah.
And I'm not upset that I gave money to it. It's a pretty awesome game.
I think a few of our friends did.
Yeah,
and they were happy with it.
It's a pretty good action RPG. It has some weird performance issues. I mean, it's built on the same engine as Titan Quest 2, because it's pretty much done by the developers of Titan Quest 2. Titan Quest series is pretty badass.
Which I installed Titan Quest, but I've yet to play it.
Well, we need to co-op that shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. Titan Quest 2's I think even better. And then
That's the same thing with like Torchlight 2. Torchlight 2 is
Torchlight 2.
amazing.
God, talking about a game that needs to be on more platforms than
Yeah.
the PC, because people have not given that game enough credit. If you put Torchlight 2 for $15 on like a PS4 store
Mm-hmm.
or the Vita store or something like that, Diablo 3 would have a run for its money right now.
Yeah.
Because Torchlight 2 is more of a sequel to Diablo 2 than Diablo 3.
Yeah.
And if you love games like that, Torchlight 2 is where it's at.
And I mean, and I'm playing Diablo 3 on PS4 right now, the Reaper of Souls thing, and I mean,
Oh, I've had a lot of fun with Diablo 3
oh no,
on
no,
the console.
but yeah, everyone, if you like Diablo style games, there's no reason you shouldn't play Torchlight 2. That game's amazing.
And you can get it cheap. Like, don't buy it right now. 'Cause
yeah, I
it's
mean,
full price.
I got it on sale for like seriously like $2.
I think I got it in a 4-pack for like 10.
See, that's another thing about fucking Steam, man.
Yeah, well, Steam has ruined me. Like, here's why I wish the Vita was a Steam system, is because the sales on
You're
PlayStation.
like, because I would get games for $1.50.
Yeah, because I'm so jaded when it comes to the console market. Like, if I bought a PS4 today and I went on the online store and I saw a game come out for $15, I would look at it
But
and
see,
go,
that's the great thing.
I'll buy it
man.
when it's $1.
No, that's the great thing though. If you have PlayStation Plus
You're gonna get it.
and you have a
eventually.
PlayStation 4, all those games are going to come to you at some point because there's
Do you
not
think that
a
hurts
huge
sales? Like, how do they compensate the indies
See,
for that?
I don't know.
Because, like,
They have to pay them some kind of upfront cash.
I mean, I probably
to-
need to research this.
let
I
'em
mean,
use
it's
it.
awesome for us,
Oh yeah,
and it's got to be awesome for the indies. I mean,
because man, there was one game that's it's a game about tower. Fuck, I'm really bad with names right now. If it's not a game that I've played a lot of yet,
Mhm.
but there was a tower game. It's just a fucking like simple thing. You can play it with your friends. It's 2D and it's simple. It's almost like playing the original, like not Super Mario Brothers,
Mhm.
but Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And you had enemies that come on the screen. You have the infinite scroll thing where like you'd fall through the bottom of the screen, you come out the top.
Okay.
And it has stuff like that. All it is, it's simple. You just shoot arrows. Your arrows get stuck in the walls and stuff, and you can go and retrieve them. Or you can like hop on an enemy's head. But enemies just spawn, and it has like waves of enemies, and they get increasingly difficult. The game is hard, very difficult.
Yeah.
But it is so much fun, especially to play with a friend because you have friendly fire and stuff.
That's
So
why
it
I
makes
kind
it
of want to
really
play.
challenging, you
I
know?
want to play Spelunky with somebody because I know for a fact I'm probably gonna hate that game by myself.
Well, that's like that other game, 1001 Spikes or
Well,
something.
Binding of
It's a
Isaac
lot
just
like
got
that. It's made by
co-op.
the people that did Cave Story.
So the Binding of Isaac just got co-op,
Did it?
and I'll be interested in playing that game co-op.
Yeah.
That game's kind of a pain in the ass.
Wait, now is it just a patch or was it like
I
the
think no,
Rebirth?
I think yeah, it's Rebirth.
Okay, now Rebirth. Shit. See, Rebirth was coming on the PS4, and I thought about buying it. If it comes cheap on the PC, I would buy it again.
I bought Binding of Isaac from a Humble Bundle.
I did too. But
Like if you're on the PC and you're not going to humblebundle.com and looking at all the bundles,
you are missing out.
I will put $1 on any.
Yeah, because I
bundle.
got the Basement Collection, and that was
Yeah.
in it. And the Basement Collection I got for $4.
Yeah, like the way Humble Bundle works, if you've never went there, first of all, what rock are you living under that you don't know what Humble Bundle is? It mainly goes after indies, but every now and then you get AAA. Like 2K just had a Humble Bundle not too long ago.
THQ had one before they.
They were the first big AAA company to have one.
Oh my god, I got so many good fucking games.
You got Metro 2033.
Yeah.
You already had it.
I
but-
had it for free when they released it. For
But
that.
I mean, 2K, I just
fucking-
got Darkness 2 for $1.
awesome.
Like the way Humble Bundle works, there's tiers. So you go there, they have like 3 games or 2 games that you can just pay anything for. But it has to be $1. I think the $1 is as lowest
It's
you can give.
yeah, the Steam validation
Yeah.
costs $1. Or whatever.
So like THQ had a Humble Bundle. I got
Saints Row the Third,
Uh,
Red Faction, Armageddon.
and you could get those for like $1, and then you can beat the average. So everyone who donates, it goes toward an average, and if you pay more than that average, you get some like games that are locked behind a wall. The average has been higher lately because Humble Bundle got smart, and so they've not only have beat the average, they have tiered stuff. So it's like pay anything you want to get like these 3 games, beat the average, you get these like 3 extra games, and then pay this flat amount, which is normally like $15 to get these games. So a lot of people pay the $15 to get everything because they add games later on in the bundle if you beat the average. But since they pay $15, that raises the average. So used to you could normally beat the average for around $5, but now it's getting to where it's around 9.
Well, okay, if you get there early enough, like set your emails to get the email about it.
Yep.
And check your emails often, because when you get those Humble Bundles, if you get in there as soon as possible, the average is going to be super low.
Yep.
I got the last Humble Bundle that came out just like last week.
Yep.
I got, or maybe it was this week. It was just early this week.
It happened this week. This is the Humble Bundle that is out right now.
And
I beat the average for
this,
$5.
And I got it for $6.50 yesterday.
Here, if you pay anything, so if you go to this Humble Bundle right now and just drop $1, you will get the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, the complete pack. That's
which is
the
another
expansion. That's
Diablo
like an ARPG
clone, and it's really fun.
It's a lot of fun. I think it's up to 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
It's shits of fun. Deadlight, which me and Matt don't even know what that is.
I do not know. I know that it has dead.
There's too many
and
goddamn light
games.
games. We talked about this in the last podcast. Quit putting light in your fucking games because I don't know what it is.
There's too many dead and light things.
Galactic Civilizations 2 Ultimate Edition. Don't know what the fuck that game is.
I don't either. It's probably something Tyler would be awesome at.
Yeah, Tyler's one of our friends that is just awesome at strategy games.
Yeah.
Then if you beat the average, right now the average is $6.39. So if you go and pay $6.40, you also get Terraria, which is an awesome...
It's 2D Minecraft.
It's pretty much 2D Minecraft with more of an emphasis on action.
Yeah.
And then like building cool shit, because you're kind of limited in the stuff you can build. But God, there's so much stuff to explore in that game. I've dropped about 20 hours into it, and that pretty much sets me at newbie levels. The people that really play this game, I mean, they're like 300 to 400 hours in. But it's Minecraft in a sense that you can create a server, create a persistent world. All your friends can get on the server and make changes to the world while you're not there. And so, like, me and my friend Tyler, Mr. Strategy Game, well, we had a Terraria world for a bit, and it was just fun going in there and just seeing what the other guy did when I wasn't playing, because it was, like, new every time. You get the King of Fighters 13,
13.
Steam Edition, which is a fighting game that I don't have a lot of experience with. I'm trying to learn it. I'm really interested in it ever since EVO this last year, because it was kind of cool watching the grand finals of that.
Yeah.
Got me interested in the game.
Really in-depth. Like, it takes a long time to master, but it seems like it really pays off. I haven't played much into it, but my roommate was really good at it.
And this is the game I beat the average for, Crusader Kings 2. I have made a promise to myself that I am going to try to play strategy games. And Crusader Kings 2 is what's considered a grand strategy. And what that means is fuck. You know,
I can tell you what mine would be. It would be a grand failure.
Well, I mean, that's like a strategy game would be Civilizations 5.
Yeah.
A grand strategy game is you take the same concept of Civilization 5, but you add a shit ton more stuff to it. A lot of it's like done in like menus. So it turns a lot of people off. So it's like playing a spreadsheet, a lot of people say. Excel simulator. But because the stories you hear about people that are good at these games, because like you literally, there's so many variables and shit that can happen when you play a game like this. The stories you can tell people of what you did and how you overcome certain situations is so cool. And I just want to participate in that type of like discussion of like.
But the only thing is, those stories are only going to happen if success is a factor.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like they say that here's what turns a lot of people off to grand strategy, and what's turned me off to it. And I don't even know if I can get into it. I haven't like physically. The learning curve is so high.
Yeah.
You have to spend a good 10 to 15 hours learning the game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just don't have the dedication for that. But I mean,
I know that my attention span would not last. Mainly because I have Romance of the Three Kingdoms for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
I got it when I was a kid in a yard sale. Huge, like 33 game pile. And I was like, what is this? Romance of the Three Kingdoms could be cool. I put it in. I played for probably about 48 seconds. And then I ejected the game from my NES.
Okay.
And I never played it again.
Here's the top Top review on Steam for Crusader Kings, which is $40 right now. And this not only gets you Crusader Kings, it gets you like all the DLC.
Yeah, and I think there was like, I want to say there was a couple DLC items.
But here's the top review. This man has 2,248 hours on record. And here's the review. Pretty cool game. Haven't played it much though. Top review on Steam, and that's why Steam reviews are the best, and why people should read them. The number 2 review, 398 hours on record. Norse raiders are pillaging my lands. My brother is trying to take my title. I've contracted syphilis, and my son's gay. This is Crusader Kings 2 in a nutshell. I want to experience that kind of shit. I want to just... This is what happened to this dude. Ridiculous amounts of variables in his game has come to make this story, and I want to have stories like this.
It sounds like the game is just making like an epic screenplay.
Here's review number 3 on Steam. Poisoned a baby to get into power. Realized that it was the wrong baby. 10 out of 10.
Whose baby did he kill?
I mean, it's $7. Get you a $40 game and all the DLC, and if you take the time to fucking learn it, you get shit like this. Here, number 4 review on Steam. Played 329 hours. His name is George Costanza on Steam, so you know, and his picture is a picture of George Costanza.
Nice.
10 out of 10. Would expel Jews again. Edit. Christ people, I'm not anti-Semitic. If you have sons of Abraham, there's an option to expel the Jews from your realm as a Christian, and it will give you a tidy sum of $350. So he will Trail of Tears the Jews
for $350.
For $350. George Costanza is a Jew.
Yeah.
I'm upset at him. I'm boycotting Seinfeld. I'm just kidding. I love Seinfeld.
I'll send Jason Alexander a mean message.
Yeah, that is his name.
Yeah, how can you just...
I hate doing that.
What?
Calling people by their
real
title.
name?
Yeah, their character name. No, because I do it all the time. I'm just like, hey, George. Oh,
well, you could just.
You're not a person to me. You're a caricature.
No, you could just do like his coach did. Can't stand you. Can't stand you.
Number, I think 4 or 5 review for this game. I'm loving the reviews for this game. I'm probably gonna love the reviews more than I actually love the game. 99 hours on record. AKA, oh, I fucking have to kill my kids because I have the wrong succession laws, and my firstborn son is a genius who should have the whole empire, not just a duchy. What does that mean? And I'm 80 and might die soon, Simulator 2012. That's what he calls this game. Let me try to do that more justice. Oh, I have to kill off my kids because I have the wrong succession laws, and my firstborn son is a genius who should have the whole empire, not just a duchy. And I'm 80 and might die soon, Simulator 2012. God damn it. I have to play this game. I'm going to have to just buckle down, put my kids off to the side, let my family, atrophy.
Just, turn off life
kill
altogether.
My career.
Yeah.
And just focus on this game because I have to tell stories like this. And the next one's a legitimate review by Bear Down Chicago, and I'm not gonna read it. Wait, what is it? Bear Down Chicago Bear Ho. It's an interesting name. He has an owl picture, but this is a legitimate review, and I don't think they can even hold a candle to the reviews I've already read.
Yeah.
If the reviews I've read have not made you want to go to Humble Bundle right now and pay $640
for a $45 game,
$6.40 to get this game and tons of others. Van Helsing, it's a good game.
Yeah, it really is.
You should check it out.
I remember when I saw it.
Is it on consoles?
No.
It upsets me when indie games aren't on consoles.
Especially when they're hack and slash.
Yeah, because they play better.
Like Diablo 3.
Diablo 3 is a PC Master Race cap coming off. Diablo 3 is a better game on PlayStation 3 and PS4 than it is on PC.
It's just so fun.
Mic drop.
Because
happened.
Right stick, you can dodge. You just aim in a direction.
Yeah.
They roll. And then left stick controls movement It's fucking perfect.
And I don't understand why certain MMOs aren't on. I think Guild Wars 2 would be a perfect MMO for consoles.
It would, because the dodging and stuff would be easily mapped.
And it's
Everything.
buy to play. And since I'm kind of a techie dude, and you know, since all consoles are on the x86 architecture, I don't know why they can't be on the same
2,
mega servers.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2, they could do it.
Well, I
on
mean,
PS4.
Realm Reborn. Final Fantasy's crossplay between PC and.
It is PS3, PS4, and PC.
Yeah, so I mean, it can be done.
Well, and I think Xbox. Is it? I think it's on Xbox 360 and stuff. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. I don't know.
I could Google it real quick, but I don't really care enough.
Okay.
Fuck it.
But I know the PS4 version of it looks like the PC version.
So I mean,
it runs really well, and yeah, it's cross.
Yeah, and right now would be a perfect time to get into it. I mean, Guild Wars 2 is buy to play, so I mean, you buy the game, you play it for free online, the way all games should be.
I actually would totally buy it.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I like it. I've put
That's
in.
the only reason.
Here's what kills me about.
I own Realm Reborn.
Here's what kills me about MMO
play
guys.
it.
This is 100% what kills me about them. If you go on Steam and like read any reviews on an MMO that they sell, they're normally bad reviews. But if you look at the time played, they've put in like 400 hours into the game. You've put in 400 hours. It's a free to play MMO, and they'll even say in the review they've paid no money. You've got 400 hours worth of content for free, and you're complaining about it. Now, man, I'm fine with saying the game has its flaws, but the thing is you got a free product that gave you, at least, if it wasn't enjoyment, enough drive to keep playing it. Like Guild Wars 2, I paid $60 for the game. I've played the game for 260 hours. If I never played the game again, I got my money's worth. But there's a lot of people that give Guild Wars 2 a lot of shit because there's no end game. They're like, oh, end game sucked, and they have like 300 hours. I'm like, who cares? You paid $60 for 360 hours.
That was like Diablo 3. I probably put in when I got it on PS3. I have a level 60. Well, he's level 62 now that I've got the expansion with the level cap higher. He was a level 60 with a 5 prestige, and I probably put in probably about 300 hours. Yeah. I'd say, if not more, with that game. I mean, I played the fuck out of that game. I mean, across different characters. It wasn't just the 60 with a 5 prestige, because you can attain that quicker than that. But anyway, I just played the shit out of it, and yeah, I mean, it was worth it.
It's hard for me to like.
But I mean, at the same time, like it is in that whole realm of if somebody does give you like a free to play game, it's kind of like the whole thing where it's like if you give a dog a bone, it's just like, don't tell me if it tastes
like
sweet or not. It's just
I've put in probably over 100 hours in Blacklight Retribution.
Yeah,
it's a shooter. I think it does the free to play model good.
I love that though. That would be a great review. It's a shooter.
It's a shooter. You shoot shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, I mean, I think it's a really good free-to-play game. I wanted to play a multiplayer shooter for free. And I didn't want to play Team Fortress 2 because it was a little bit too wacky. I just wanted to play like a kind of I almost bought Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Blacklight Retribution's free to play.
Only thing is, Counter-Strike Go, probably the community would have scared me off.
I don't know.
No.
Counter-Strike guys are not as bad as people think they are.
Well, mainly not the console ones. PC ones, it depends. I just don't want to be that guy who fucks up everything for an entire team.
Well, you're gonna be.
I know.
I mean, everybody.
I was up. Now when I played it on your PlayStation Plus for that 1 hour, I was the god of that team because I took out single-handedly. Like you only get one life, and you're having to disarm a bomb if the person arms a bomb.
Yep. So, I mean, you have two ways to win. You can either plant the bomb and explode it if you're the terrorist.
Or
kill all the non-terrorists.
Yeah.
And if you're on the non-terrorist team, you either kill all the terrorists or stop the bomb from being planted or defuse it.
I was on the non-terrorists. Well, I did not realize that my team had been completely wiped out. And there was 4 guys... No, let's see. Yeah, there was 4 guys left on the other team. And in Counter-Strike Go, you die rather quickly.
Yeah, it's like just a...
Yeah.
You're dead.
It's a burst and you die. Well, in a train yard of some sort, and 4 guys left, I put one of them down, like rejoiced, put another one down, and then I saw that there were two of them on the other side that were close to each other, and then one of them plants a bomb. I end up killing both of those guys. So I've wiped out their entire team. I have about like 10 seconds to get to this bomb and turn it off while my entire team is dead spectating.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, oh God, because it's the first time I ever even played Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Other than trying it out on PC and going, well, I don't have internet.
Yeah, that's exactly 100% my Counter-Strike experience. I bought the game because I loved Half-Life, and I saw it was like dirt cheap at Walmart. I'm like, this looks
exactly
cool.
what I did. I still have the disc copy of Counter-Strike.
Plugged it in my computer, and I just shot hostages.
Yeah, I just did the training thing. It was like, well, cool, I got some money.
But I didn't know it was a multiplayer only game.
Yeah,
I'm like, that was
I didn't
100% my experience with Counter-Strike.
I get to the bomb, and I'm seriously like shaking because I have no idea like how to disarm it or anything. And I was like, oh shit, there's like a countdown thing where you have to like hold it, and it pulls the bomb. He's cutting the wires and shit. Anyway, that little blue bar or whatever is going, and like it's just like 3, 2, 1, and I'm just like, oh God, I failed. And the bomb disarms right at like 1 second.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please, someone just have fucking recorded that, because that was the greatest, most badass thing I've ever done. I'd killed almost the entire team
and
single-handedly and took out a bomb.
And see, what you just said, though, is why Counter-Strike's so popular, because when those moments happen, it is so addicting, and you will do anything to make that moment happen again. But for every one moment like that, and this is like for everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's amazing players that have like amazing games every time, but for the most people that play Counter-Strike, for every one amazing moment like that, there's like 10 billion shitty ones. Of where they were the first, they like walked like, what does this do? I'm dead.
And that's what it is with those games where you can't respawn.
Yeah.
I know it has to suck, because like, the best was watching our friend Nathan play. He has a pseudonym. Like, he already has like a pseudonym name. But he's got a pseudonym that he goes for when he fucks over his team. I know it's a funny thing. It's just he has a special screen name that he logs in on when he wants to play a game where he like sabotages his team. He does it on Battlefield with like, he'll get tanks and just shoot his teammates. And it's so funny. But he did it on Call of Duty, like on Modern Warfare.
Yeah, in like hardcore mode.
Yeah, he would go on hardcore mode and shoot his own teammates, like right out of the gate. Like, everybody would spawn and they'd all be in the same area, and he just started shooting teammates. And it was so funny because people would not understand. They were just like,
why?
All I'd hear was, bro, the fuck you doing, bro? I'm on your team, bro. And then it's like, oh, you killed me, bro. And I'm like, man, you're just pissing off so many people. I was like, hey, I'm gonna get so much hate mail on this PS3, because he was used to wanting to do this for a while, and then he started. Then Murdering Murphy was born. His
game.
Oh God,
it's such a good time to be a gamer.
It really is.
I mean, we were talking about the Vita earlier and how Sony's not pushing it.
Yeah. And
how Sony thinks that's cool. It's kind of like full circle. But here's the thing, though. Companies not backing their own shit kills shit. Look at Sega.
Yeah, people are the ones.
See Sega. Sony should say, Vita doesn't need our support because the community's supporting it. See the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
See the Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Two successful consoles outside the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, the Dreamcast was successful in the U.S. The only reason that it ended is because Sega didn't want to compete anymore.
No,
they just washed their hands.
Because the first time they competed against Sony with the PS1 versus Sega Saturn,
they got stomped.
Not
stomped because it was a shitty console. The Sega Saturn sold really well in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And it had a lot of the same titles.
And a lot of the same titles.
A lot of them ran better.
Yeah, like Castlevania for the Saturn.
Although
ran better on the Saturn than it did.
It didn't look as good.
Are you sure? Like I
thought it had bad transparency issues.
Oh, really? See, I thought that extra 2D processor.
It wasn't horrible. It ran better, but it just didn't look as good. Like, some of the effects weren't right. But I
The
mean,
one
it
thing I
also
can
had
say-
added things with like you could play as Maria and stuff, even though it was kind of a throw-in.
Here's something for the Saturn. Anyone who liked the game Knights,
I don't know what the fuck.
what is your appeal to that game?
I don't know. I
played it on the
played for
Wii.
about 30 seconds and I couldn't.
And the Wii is like apparently a better version because it doesn't have the same frame rate issues that the first one did.
The first one was horrible. I mean, to me,
It's pretty much take the first Star Fox game and take all the cool shit out of Star Fox and just leave the rings you fly into, and that's Knights.
yeah, yeah.
Just strip everything amazing
And
from
then
Star Fox.
add a fountain.
And add a fountain, and you have Knights. How that game got cult status, I don't know.
I don't know. It took a cult. They're all dead. They drank the Kool-Aid.
They drank the Kool-Aid. No, they still exist.
I don't see how. Either
Knights
that or
is still
they had kids before they
Fond
died.
memories of Knights.
Fond my ass. I mean, maybe that was the only game they had. You know, maybe
Yeah.
it's like a person that owned 3DO and they're like, the only game I had growing up was Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and I love that game.
I almost bought a Saturn when I was buying games and stuff. There was this magazine called Funko Land. GameStop has bought Funko Land.
Yeah.
But it used to just we didn't have any stores. I bet they had stores, but where we lived there was no stores. So you get this Funko Land magazine once a month, and it was just used games with prices next to them, and then you would call a 1-800 number and order the games you want, and you'd pretty much mail a check. And it was pretty cool because if you called the 1-800 number, all the people that were answering the phone knew games.
Yeah.
So you would literally you would call not really to order, because you'd order I think through the mail, like you'd send a check. My mom did all that for me. I was really young, but you would just call to literally is this game any good?
Yeah.
And they would talk about the game. I mean now that's kind of like a stupid thing to do because you got the internet.
Yeah.
But back then, a 1-800 number, I didn't have the internet, so I called up. And I was going to buy a Sega Saturn because the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1 had very similar titles at the time. Like, there's a lot of parity between the two systems. It's just the Saturn was $100 less than the PlayStation 1. And so I called the dude up. I'm like, hey, thinking about buying a Saturn over the PS1 because the game library is similar and the Saturn's cheaper. And he just don't. He was like, Sega's not backing it. Get the PlayStation because Sony's hardcore behind it. And because of that, I bought a PlayStation 1.
And he was right.
If Sega had been backing their system, he would be like, well, they're both good choices.
Yeah.
But the fact that Sega had no... Same thing right now. If I tell people to buy a Vita because I love mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you like indie games? Do you like free games?
Yeah.
Get a Vita, get PlayStation Plus. Don't ever buy a game ever. You're going to get more than you'll ever be able to play with.
And
ever.
it has some cool exclusives.
But
too.
if I have to recommend a handheld, I think a 3DS gets etched out a little bit as being above a Vita strictly because Nintendo's 100% behind it. E3, Nintendo's talking about 3DS. Anytime Nintendo gets, they're talking about 3DS.
You know why? Because the DS was...
Well, it's floating Nintendo right now.
Yeah, I mean, the DS before, was the fucking, the reason that Nintendo, just made some bomb-ass cash.
Yeah. And what's funny is the DS originally didn't do well.
Well, I sold so many DSs to soccer moms when I worked at GameStop. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Any woman that came in and, had kids, she walked out with 2 or 3 of those.
Well, I mean, I am strongly considering buying my daughter a 3DS.
It's worth it. I mean,
not a 3DS, a 2DS.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but it's worth it, though, because there's so many titles, not only, new ones that she can play that are
You
really
can still play
fun.
the original DS game.
There's just tons of... And plus, there's the Virtual Console store that they have. Tons of shit.
When Nintendo fixes their
Pricing's-
account shit,
Pricing's the only thing.
it's not even pricing. It's the fact that the way they do their online is so archaic and bullshit that it's tied to the device and not the account that you buy it.
Oh, I know.
That's such bullshit.
Because when I got rid of my 3DS, I lost, all the games that
And here's
I
another
bought.
big selling point for the Vita. Sony's got their online shit. Butter.
Yeah.
Normally you buy a game on PS3, PS4, and it's on the Vita, you've bought it for the Vita.
Yeah.
for the most part.
If it
Very rarely is there not cross-buy.
because I bought Sound Shapes
Mm-hmm.
on the PS3. I got it for the PS3, the Vita, and the PS4.
Yeah.
I didn't even buy the PS4 version,
Yeah.
but I got it.
Yeah.
I platinumed that game, got 3 platinums.
So if you're a trophy whore,
Yeah.
definitely have a Vita.
Well, no.
Oh, I
it's
mean,
just, it was funny though.
This isn't a cross-buy, but
I mean, the same thing happened with Hotline Miami. It wasn't 2 platinums, but it was just 1. But I mean, I cross-played
well, I mean,
between that. I would upload my save to the PS3 and vice versa.
yeah, it's not cross-buy, but like the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I'm a Metal Gear Solid. Now, I am a fanboy of Metal Gear Solid. I understand the story is convoluted, and I'll just say it. Fucking retarded. Love the game. Love the story. I watch every cutscene. Even on replays, I like watching the cutscenes because they're so badass. I can watch Ocelot fucking revolver shit all the time. But I bought the HD collection on the Vita. Bought the HD collection on the PS3. And you got double the trophies, which was awesome. You would retroactively get trophies, so all the trophies that you got on the Vita, once you like downloaded the save through their Transfo Ring weird online service, the trophies would just start popping up on your PS3, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
Loved
they were
it.
just. That was a fancy way of them saying data anus.
Yeah, but I love doing that. I mean, I guess a lot of people don't care about that, or it's just Sony's not telling people that you can do that.
Yeah.
Like when they had that whole indie block at E3, why didn't they say, oh, and by the way, buy this once, get it on the Vita, crossplay, and show them.
Yeah.
Show them doing it. Show them
Well,
someone playing on the console, hitting start, save, like uploading to the cloud, and then, just pulling a Vita out of the pot and just starting the game.
Yeah. Also, remote play for the Vita on the PS4 is amazing.
Yeah, I don't have a PS4.
I don't know, it's incredible. I'll be a lot of times like downstairs doing shit on. Now I will say there are some games that it's wonky for because you don't have those 2 extra triggers.
Yeah, so you have to use
So
the back.
you have to use sometimes you got to use the front, the touch screen. It's just dependent on the game.
I get what you're saying.
There's the 4 quadrants of the screen.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's really wonky because like you'll be using the buttons
That was kind of my complaint
and your
with
fingers kind of accidentally touch it and it just automatically.
that was kind of my
will
biggest
do
complaint
shit.
about the Resistance game for Vita was you had to take your thumb off the analog sticks to hit buttons on the touchscreen, and some of the buttons were too close together and you'd accidentally hit the wrong one.
Yeah, so I don't know how many times where I was playing Killzone like Shadows Fall and like accidentally throw a grenade.
I can say this. Not trying to pick on Nintendo. I own a Wii U for my daughter. She loves the thing. She plays it constantly. It's a good kids platform, but fuck that whole bullshit. I don't know what houses they have in Japan. Well, actually I do. They live in very small contained areas. But the range of that tablet to the console, if she leaves her room and walks into our room and comes to our bed, it's out of range.
Yeah,
It is so fucking weak. See, in my head, in my brain mind, I was thinking it was going to be like the PS4 and the Vita.
Yeah, and then the fucking.
And I thought the tablet was going to
Shit's
connect
great.
to your home Wi-Fi, which I'm a network engineer. My Wi-Fi is tits. I got 3 access points in this motherfucker. It cross balances. It knows which access points you're on. It auto changes you once you get closer in that, that 20% bleed over between APs. I got my shit tight. And I was expecting for her to be in any room in the house, like, because, she's still young.
Yeah.
She still has questions, like, how do I get past this? Or, I accidentally hit the home button. How do I get out of it? She's 3 years fucking old.
Yeah.
So, in my brain, I bought this Wii U. I'm thinking, set her up on something upstairs, get the game selected and stuff, and then she can sit down here with me and, play on her little tablet. Fuck no, you can't do that. Because it doesn't, the tablet doesn't connect to your Wi-Fi. It connects to this connection to the console itself that has like line of sight range.
Yeah.
Fuck, that pissed me off.
Well, what's funny about the Wii U is when they first announced it, I thought it was an expansion for the Wii.
Everybody did.
Like
Everybody thought it was a tablet you
all I
bought for
thought
the Wii.
It was a tablet because they showed like what looked like Wii Sports Golf,
Yeah.
and like they're playing this dick maneuver, and like
Oh yeah, that's where the one you have to put the tablet on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're playing this, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like Wii U? Is this like Wii University? Like
What's a weird thing is it didn't even come with it.
no,
All the Wii Sports games that you saw at E3, you have to buy those.
Yeah.
It's called like Wii Sports Club, and they're like $2 a piece.
but the graphics were like pretty much exactly the same.
Well, what they showed.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like it confused me.
Well, the Wii U.
Because they weren't like, hey, this is a brand new system that we're doing. It should have been called something else.
First of all, the Wii U shouldn't have launched when it launched.
No.
It shouldn't have. You know when the Wii U should have launched? Right the fuck now, and call it something like Nintendo Fuck Your Ass Machine. I don't know
like
what you
I
would
said,
call it.
Revolution was a great fucking name for
Oh
the
yeah,
original
for the original
Wii.
Wii.
And why
Yeah.
they changed it to fucking Wii?
If the Wii, first of all, what's killed the Wii right now is bad press for the Wii. Everyone's like the Wii sucks, and
And
that's
I don't hate on. I'm not trying to hate on Nintendo or anything. Like
well, they
I-
made stupid moves.
they've made stupid moves on alienating themselves. I think the whole first party isolation thing is a bad.
Well, they're trying to
idea.
fix that, and honestly, their Nintendo Direct was probably the best conference at E3.
Well, and like I said, I hope good things for them. I hope they turn this stuff around because
I think
mean,
they're going
know,
to.
I know with Mario Party 8, they're
Kart.
not
Fuck Mario Party.
Yeah, fuck Mario Party. And that's pretty much like called "fuck you, asshole."
Yeah,
like
I would rather lick
with a
sandpaper
number.
than play that fucking game.
that game is so like if you want to lose friends,
Play Mario
play Mario
Party.
Party. But anyway,
Like to boredom.
now,
They'll die of
now
boredom.
I will not say that Mario Kart's any different. Because one guy lost a friend after playing Mario Kart
Well, Mario
because he
Kart-
shot him in the
yeah.
face and because he lost and whatever.
That's not funny.
No, it's
That
not.
really happened. That's a sad thing.
Yeah, it's,
Don't do stupid shit like that.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb shit.
But I mean,
But anyway-
well, I mean, think about it like this.
But you got the Mario Kart, New Legend of Zelda, and it looks really good.
New Legend of Zelda looks amazing. Anyone who says otherwise is a fucktard. 'Cause
Yeah,
it looks
I mean,
awesome.
I don't even like Legend of Zelda games. Like,
I don't either.
I like watching
Well,
people play them.
I'll take that back. I liked the Game Boy Legend of Zelda,
Yeah,
Link's Awakening,
That game was pretty
Link to the
cool.
Past. I even liked the 2 Zelda games that came out on DS, like Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, and,
four.
The tracks. What was
Was it 4 King? No, that was for the GBA.
Yeah, the Four Swords.
Yeah.
Four Swords was cool because if you had it was the fucking most complicated hookup.
Yeah, GameCube.
But if you had the GameCube and 4 separate Game Boy Advance with 4 copies of the game,
yeah.
you could play with 3
Yep.
of your friends on
Yeah,
the same
it-
screen.
It was the most convoluted bullshit
But
ever. But you could do it.
it was a great idea. It
But-
just was executed
Well, I mean,
oddly.
Again, what's hurting?
Oh,
what?
I totally forgot. Well, since we talk about this, I just wanted to put this out here. PlayStation 4 has a new update that's coming out this fall.
2.0?
Yes.
Yep.
The YouTube upload integration is cool, but the big thing was the co-op.
Yes,
The
now.
co-op thing where one person locally, if you're playing with your friend on their PlayStation 4, if you're playing a game, they can play the same game with you on their PS4 as long as it's
It's
like
an emulated local co-op. Now, here's my
Yeah.
question. If you're playing that, wouldn't you have to split screen it? Because it's emulating like a controller to your PS4. I would think you would have to split screen it.
I don't know. Maybe it would remote it.
Because I think what it's doing, like the way I've read it, is it's gonna take your control. Like I have a PS4 at my house, you have a PS4 at your house. I'm playing Killzone, just to say, you want to co-op Killzone with me. You don't own Killzone, so you pretty much are using this service to attach your controller like to my system, and I can go into a multiplayer. I would think I'd have to go to multiplayer split screen because it's all being rendered on one box.
Yeah.
Now, this is different than what Far Cry 4 is doing.
Yeah.
Where Far Cry 4 on the PS4, it's like if one person owns the game, you can play co-op with the game.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be 2 separate screens from what I understand. But
Yeah.
I would think the way this service would work, and the only way they could get around the bullshit pushback they'd get from publishers, like,
Yeah.
what do you mean people only have to buy one game, is to make it to where it's emulating local co-op.
Yeah.
Which I'm 100% for.
Yeah. I mean, if it's just a split
Especially
screen
think
thing,
about
I
all the
mean-
games that don't have, like the cool indie games that don't have multiplayer,
Yeah.
like online multiplayer, that are only local co-op games.
Yeah.
If there's no latency, it's perfection. If there's latency,
The
it's
only
gonna
thing
suck
is,
balls.
I don't know if it like. Is it just an online thing? Like you can do it over the internet? like
Yeah.
with your friend. Okay, and it emulates the local co-op thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean,
That's the way I've
perceived
interpreted it.
Yeah,
That's the way in my brain has accepted this
well, see,
information.
I got to read a brief article about it. It's why I wasn't sure. But all right. But anyway, yeah, anyway, I didn't mean to get off the subject of that. I just knew that I'd forget. But we were talking about the
Well, the Wii.
you know.
Well, in my opinion, what's hurting the Wii U again? Check out that update if you have a PS4. It sounds pretty awesome, and I'll do some more research on what that.
Yeah, I'll do
Co-op
some
thing
too, so I
is-
actually know what I'm talking about next
Yeah.
time. I just remembered that
Now,
I
the
was-
way my head has just perceived it, it's amazing, but
yeah,
occasionally I make up shit
yeah.
because I want it
At
that
least
bad.
the YouTube integration might be kind of cool.
But but the in my opinion, here's what hurts the Wii U. It came out. yes, that is
context
100%.
that.
No, in context. What hurt the Wii U is it came out. It shouldn't have came out. It
No.
shouldn't have came out a year before the next gen consoles.
Honestly, if they
It
had the
shouldn't have came out
lineup
with
that
no
they're-
game.
that they have coming out
Well, that's
right
what
now,
I'm saying.
yeah,
You take the Wii U. It did. Let's go into like an alternate reality. Wii U does not exist yet. You've never even heard of a Wii U. E3 this year, Nintendo launches. Nintendo, we'll just say Revolution, because that's a bitchin' name.
It was.
Nintendo Revolution. And they show the tablet. And they show all this shit. And then they don't just show all that shit. They show all the games that are coming out this year and the games they've already released up to this point as coming out this holiday season. So, think about what you have there. You have Mario Kart 8. Launch. Not launch window bullshit. Launch day when that system comes out, say November
Yeah.
of this year. So Nintendo Revolution launching this year, November, in this launch lineup. You got Super Mario Brothers U and Luigi U, which is pretty much just rehashes of the Super Mario Wii, New Super Mario Brothers.
except Luigi is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like that game is badass.
Oh, I have it.
It's way harder, and like it's just like a completely different game.
Yeah. But you have that on launch day,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure the at least New Super Mario Brothers U was a launch title, but I mean, but then you have Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze,
Yeah.
which is a hard fucking game, but amazing fucking game.
Yeah.
Launch day. You have, I think I've already said Mario Kart 8. Mario
Yeah,
Kart
yeah.
8, launch fucking day. You got
Hyrule
Super
Warriors.
Mario 3D Land,
Yeah.
launch fucking day. You got Hyrule Warriors, yeah, launch day.
Also, the Super Smash Brothers and the new one.
Super Smash, well, no, Super Smash Brothers for the Wii is coming out later.
But
Or
I
is
mean,
it coming out this holiday season?
I don't remember.
Or is it 2015?
I'd fucking hope
The-
not.
the
'cause it's been
3DS
delayed so damn
The
much,
3DS
it's not
version's
funny.
coming out in October.
Yeah. I don't know.
If they could,
I know it's a little later, but I don't think it would be that much later.
but
I
if
mean,
you had Smash on that too, and
and the new Zelda like coming
Hyrule
out.
Warriors,
Well, no,
oh,
no,
coming out, yeah, and they show a teaser trailer for that coming out
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, they're just like, hey,
You
you
talk
want your
about-
balls like to explode.
Just look at the sales for Mario, for Mario Kart.
No.
It sold over 1 million copies already, and there's only like 3 million people that own a Wii U.
Yeah.
A third of people that own a Wii U own Mario Kart 8. Just think, if the Wii did not exist when it launched 2 years ago, with nothing,
No.
because it didn't. Even the fucking thing was broken when it came out. You had to install like a 300 meg update to even get the goddamn thing working.
Yeah.
None of the TV features were working. None of that. But you take that console and you launch it with games. That console would have beat, in my opinion, this holiday season, if that console had launched. Like the Nintendo Revolution alternate reality launches this holiday season with that launch lineup, it outsells PS4 and Xbox One. Hands down.
Yeah.
And people will be talking about the Nintendo Revolution being the greatest selling console of all time instead of the PS4, which the PS4's earned it. That's a fine console.
Yeah.
But
The only thing is, you know, you still need some longevity with like third party and stuff like that. Like now, as far as selling consoles, pushing units, those first party titles would do it.
Well, the thing is that would at least get you the install base
Yeah.
to get third
That's
parties
what I'm
interested.
saying. Like, you would at least have people
Oh,
buying the
Bayonetta's coming out
console.
this year.
Yeah.
So you got Bayonetta 1 and 2 launch. Like, if they would have just hold off. I mean, granted, is the Wii U a powerful console? No. It's about par with the PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah.
However, people would have overlooked that if it had launched with that kind of a lineup.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
that's a better lineup right now than what the PS4 and the Xbox One has as far as exclusives go.
Yeah.
And then if you get an install base, if they'd have sold like say 4 million consoles the first year, that's a big enough install base to get third parties interested. Right now you got fucking cocksuckers at Ubisoft saying they have fully created and made Wii U games that they're not releasing until the install base is higher. So they have them made. They're sitting there on a shelf, fully made games, ready to go out. They're fucking gold.
Yeah.
But they're not going to release it to the install base because it's not worth it to them to even like release a game, pay the money to like distribute it until the install base is higher.
Yeah.
But if you launch the console this holiday season with that lineup and the Wii U did not exist with its shitty launch and stuff like that, you have in 1 year, that's probably going to be the fastest install base of a Nintendo console in the history of Nintendo.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would beat out the PS4, but it would be close. People would be talking about PS4 and Nintendo for console dominance, and the Xbox One would be a strong third place.
Yeah, it'd be the dunce cap in
Yeah.
the corner. I mean, and it's sad to say that. I mean, because like I don't really, like I said, no ill will towards the Xbox
What's
One.
with this? Maybe you've read more of this than I have. What's with this 900p shit that I keep hearing about?
Okay, 900p is the resolution that all the Xbox One games are in. They're not true like 1080p.
But okay, explain this to me. So did the
Which
Destiny
Watch
did
Dogs is
Bungie
actually lower than that.
did Bungie lie to me then when they said Destiny can run at 1080p now? Because
Not on. It does on other consoles.
well, they said that they could get 1080p on the Xbox One ever since Xbox made
Now-
it to where they could patch out the Kinect.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they acted like that was a huge performance boost, and it really wasn't.
Huh.
Now, I don't know about Bungie, because Bungie might
Well, I
be able to do
mean,
shit
first of
differently,
all,
but
let's go back in time to last gen. A lot of people gave the PlayStation 3 a lot of shit because most of their games were in 720p, where they were 1080p on the Xbox 360. But that's bullshit.
they weren't 1080p, though.
But they on the back of the box it said 1080p,
But
and
they
on your
weren't.
TV, no, they weren't. They were upres. They were like 540p.
Yeah,
Upres to 1080p, where on the PS3 you actually got native 720p.
yeah. And if it said 1080p, you were getting actual 1080p.
Yeah. A prime example of that is Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
It was 1080p.
Yeah.
Legit. Where it said 1080p on the 360 and your TV would say 1080p, but it was really like a much lower res image than upconverted.
Yeah.
Because the console couldn't handle, or I won't say the console couldn't handle, because I mean GPU performance, the 360 kind of smoked
Yeah.
the PS3, but
Yeah, because PS3 was more CPU.
yeah, intensive. Honestly, the 360 was a fine engineered system, poorly executed
Yeah, 'cause
on manufacturing, because the PS3 is such a better manufactured system.
Mhm.
I mean, you can just feel it in your hands, the weight.
Yeah,
It was just a better.
it's actually like
And I feel the same way with the Xbox
it's like a
One.
puzzle box.
Like I got to interact with a physical Xbox One, and it didn't feel like the console. You know, it felt like an empty box. Because
Yeah,
it's really big and bulky, and like the first Xbox, the true Xbox One was big and bulky too. But when you picked it up, it was a fucking hoss.
Yeah,
you
you
felt
felt-
like it was packed to the brim with
I
just
know that at least one person,
awesome gaming power.
one person in the world had to have been murdered with one,
Yeah,
because someone could have used it as a smashing device.
yeah, because it was huge.
It was huge.
and heavy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just feels like an empty shell of a box, kind of like the new 360s. They feel like these empty shells that
Yeah.
have really loud fans
Well, like also
and really loud disk drives,
the Xbox One runs hotter, and
which
the
baffles me.
PS4 smaller, and
And they even
is
have
sturdier feeling and runs cooler.
you don't even have to have a power brick for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if one thing I have to give them credit, if the
Also,
PS4
it's
is
50% faster.
if the I'm gonna have to check that number. 50% faster.
That's what. Yeah, Dev said that it is 50% faster than the Xbox One.
Oh, I'm gonna have to research
I checked
that.
a lot of graph numbers. They show that there is.
No,
data
I know on like time to game, it's like even faster than that. Like as far as like because they do a whole
But
lot
they
better.
said
in-
there's a 50% performance difference.
Yeah, but
as
I thought
far
you
as,
could.
like.
Oh, I get what you're saying on the memory bandwidth from between the memory, but from what I understand, that the Xbox One can get around that because they have some kind of like cache on the CPU, and so developers can tap into that, and it greatly decreases the performance gap.
Yeah.
So the Xbox One, you can. It's just you got to do some tricks.
Yeah, like lower res. Like
You got.
900.
But I mean, here's my thing. If the PS4s that were bought at launch, the ones that didn't have issues, because I mean they had a 1% failure rate at launch, which I think is expected.
Yeah.
But if those PS4s hold up 4 years down the road and they're still working, that's got to be one of the best engineered consoles in the history of existence because it runs, like you said, it runs cooler than the Xbox One. It has the power supply built into it because on the Xbox One, it's a huge box that you still have to buy. It comes with that huge power brick like the 360 came with.
The external power.
Yeah, which-
that's another. Yeah, I mean that was one of the things that baffled a lot of people is they were like, "How does this thing have an external power supply and still run hotter?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?" Because they were like, "The PS3 does not. It still has just
PS4.
PS4. It's
PS3 didn't either, to be
yeah,
fair.
but it's the same power cable as the PS3 and the PS2.
Spec-wise, think about the specs of what they are. The consoles are near identical.
Yeah.
So that means they should have near identical heat, like,
But
build
no.
up.
It's just engineering.
Yeah, like Sony has, again, if these consoles don't start dying, like, I hope they don't have a red ring like the 360s
I fucking
did.
hope they don't.
But if these consoles hold up and like 5 years from now they're still trucking, like the the PS3s have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Best console ever as far as an engineering standpoint goes, in my opinion.
Yeah, as far as the powerhouse that it is, yeah.
But we've went over our normal hour. I think me and Matt's decided that we're gonna let's let these podcasts go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So some might be an hour. I think we've had a lot of stuff to talk about. We talked about what was it, Quingate
Quingate
for
yeah.
Zoe Quinn. Look up that shit. Form your own opinions. Don't fucking slut shame her.
Yeah.
Let a woman have sex with whoever she wants, especially if it's me.
But yeah, I mean, don't hate on a woman just because she fucks around or whatever. The thing that we were just
Focus on
talking
the
about-
controversy.
Yeah, we were talking about the controversy of her actions beyond the sex
Yeah.
scandal.
Yeah,
her
of
actions
her
outside of
defaming people that are even talking about it.
Yeah.
Who's pretty much like committing slander, in my opinion, and libel
Yeah.
against people that are just commenting against her, saying that they're misogynist pigs and all this just because they have an opinion.
And
on
then
the
having
issue.
her fucking White Knight army like going against people.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
White Knight Army that is also like at the helm of other people she has fucked.
Because we'll remember what the guy said in the review, that she has an image to present.
Yep.
And as a game developer, as loose of a term as that is right now
Yeah.
for her, she does have an image to present.
I
Because the only other like game developer I'd seen that did anything that was like that had a controversy, but I didn't mind it at all, was one of the devs that worked with. See what she did, Playboy in the early 2000s.
I
She
know
was a PC
exactly
game
who you're
developer.
talking about, but I cannot think of her.
I do have like that issue because it was very badass. And-
Yeah, she was really hot.
Yeah, because I had a lot of PC gamer issues with her in it. And when I saw that she was in Playboy, I was just like, holy
Yeah.
fucking shit. But anyway, yeah, she was back in the big boom days of like with Cliffy B when he was first coming on the scene, and like a lot of the big name like PC devs.
Yeah, Kevin
She
Levine was making his mark in System
He
Shock.
was, and she was one of the big PC devs as well.
yeah,
And I can't remember
she
her
worked on some
name.
big games too. I
She
can't
worked-
remember
Yeah,
her.
she worked on quite a few big games.
Oh, I wish I could remember her.
Yeah, but she, like I said, she
But
came.
I mean,
she
she
came under.
stood behind her work.
Yeah, but she came under scrutiny for things like that. But at the same time, like nobody had anything bad to say about. She didn't get negative press for the fact of like her actions. Her
Well,
actions were
and
fine.
there was no
just,
scandal with her doing Playboy because it wasn't like because she did Playboy, her merit as a game developer.
yeah. She already had
was
merit as a
challenged.
game developer.
Yeah, like
She just did that, and other game developers were like, "Holy shit, she's fucking like." We knew she was hot, but now,
goddamn.
wait, yeah, because one of the other game developers, it was hilarious. He was talking about he had pictures of her on his computer. He was just like, "I have a secret folder with that in there." And he's just like, yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with a woman doing anything she wants with her body.
Yeah.
What the problem is the fact that she is going balls to the walls crazy on people just like trying to find out information on this.
And also going against,
Other women
that are
trying to make it.
yeah, they're trying to like help other women.
So she's being kind of a bitch
Yeah.
right now. We've talked about indie games and how they're awesome and you should just check them out. And again, indie games is not a genre. Don't call it a genre.
And Sony, stop fucking shitting on the Vita.
Yeah, stop it. Just and anytime you don't talk about it, you're losing sales. You're
Yeah.
losing relevancy for the console. The fact that we're having to talk about it so much to explain to people that it's a good system, and Sony doesn't feel that it's a priority. It's just every day they don't talk about it. It's a nail in the coffin
Yeah.
for the Vita. Just
'Cause the
they're
only
coming
thing-
out with a PlayStation TV that's going to play Vita games, and that might interest people because there's a shit people that say there's no games on the Vita. There are awesome games on the Vita
One game-
that are
and-
only on the Vita.
Yeah, Tokuden, Myth of Demons,
Oh.
so good. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
It's like playing Monster Hunter, but so much more fun.
And there's another game coming out called like Freedom something or
I don't think I've heard of that one.
yeah, I don't. Freedom might not be the word.
Also, the Killzone game for it is fucking badass.
Yeah, I'll play it. I actually own quite a few Vita games.
Yeah, I own
Gravity
quite a
Rush is
few,
awesome. Gravity Rush 2's coming out.
That
Both of those are
What is
Studio
it?
Japan games.
is it Sword Art Online? Is fucking like everybody's raving about it. That one's blowing up a lot. I mean, a lot of people are buying a Vita just for that.
Yeah.
Also the some of the stuff like Super Stardust Delta,
Yep.
so much
A
fucking
lot of fun.
But also
Is Resogun on the Vita? Or is that just PS4
it's
only?
just PS4.
That sucks. Resogun would do good on the Vita.
It would. They have Dead Nation on the Vita, but
Yeah.
and it's fun on there. I just hadn't played it very much, but there was Soul Sacrifice. It's
Yep.
another really fun
Really,
game.
wait until if it's not already out yet. They're kind of making a 1.5 of it, or like a director's
It's
cut of it.
Delta, I believe.
Delta, is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Get that because I hear it's a lot better. Because
Yeah.
Sacrifice had some issues. It's
We
a really
got it for free, so
oh cool.
yeah.
Yeah, my PlayStation Plus membership has expired by like a year, so I
Well,
get nothing free.
There was also fucking Persona 4 Golden.
Yep,
Uh,
awesome game.
best version of Persona 4 you can get. An awesome game already. This just makes it even better.
Yep,
Tons of extra content. It's pretty much like getting
it was already a fucking long game. I got 40
yeah.
hours into it, and I'm like not even halfway through.
well, it was like getting Persona 3 that special edition that I'd bought that was like
Yeah.
an extra 30 hours. It's like adding an expansion pack.
Yeah,
So Golden, definitely pick that up if you got it, because the only place you can get it it's on the Vita.
yeah. So Vita is awesome.
Yeah.
Get it. Indie games, some of them are good, some of them are bad.
But the good thing is there's such a broad spectrum.
You can play a indie shooter, indie platformer, indie RPG. There are fucking 1,000 indie games.
Yeah.
You can't hate them all.
Yeah.
It is a theoretical impossibility that you will hate every indie game you play.
Yeah.
So just try them out. Talk about some grand strategy games. Definitely check out Crusader 2.
Yeah, and he'll let you know if his child gets like
Yeah.
gay syphilis and
Yeah, gay syphilis. You can get syphilis and your son can be gay in Crusaders 2.
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it can happen.
The syphilis will drive him insane. He will die. It will eat his brain.
I'll just get some leeches on me. That'll
yeah.
save, and some mercury.
Blood purification.
Yeah. What else we got? Nintendo. Go back in time, build a fucking Nintendo time machine. Don't launch the Wii U. Launch it this year with all the games you got, and blow the fucking doors off the place.
What I would do is, if I had some kind of remember me power, which that game, but The good thing is you could go. You could.
That's the best review for a game ever.
You could go into someone's brain and manipulate. I would go into like the guy who made the head decisions at Nintendo. I would go into his brain, manipulate him to keep the name as the Revolution, and tell him to push the release date.
Let's just straight up do it like Watchmen style.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan, erase everyone's minds.
I just wish we had such a being.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I guess I'm more referencing the comic book version, which the comic book ending, really fucking stupid. Just gonna say that. Watchmen.
Squid.
The Watchmen comic book, one of the greatest comic books I've ever read in my entire life. The ending to that comic book fucking retarded. The movie did it 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
Alan Moore fans.
But yeah, we fuck off.
But we had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Hopefully it wasn't as macabre as our last podcast we started listening to. Like, were we just on heroin?
It was a bit somber.
Yeah.
We were just like,
it was like 5 o'clock in the morning though when we filmed that.
It was 5 because my alarm went off, and I know that was at 5:45.
Yeah, we're spry.
in the morning.
We're spry right now. It's only 2:49.
Oh man.
So it's early bird time for us.
So yeah.
Yeah. We still got blow to do.
I've almost been up 24 hours. Last time I had been up 24 hours. So that's why I was wiped.
But I guess in this podcast, we end every podcast, the state of the channel address. Yeah. My channel is gone. Well, no. I was going...
Shifted.
In the first episode of the podcast, we talked about like pseudonyms and like personas, and I started thinking about it. By posting videos up under my Luke Arp name, I am representing myself probably poorly to future employers that do check social media. So I decided I was going to take off all my videos on my Luke Arp name and actually put them up on my Dancing Fetus page. So I created a page in Google Plus because, man, it's a convoluted shit to do this. First of all, there is zero help from YouTube to like go from one channel to another, even if it's under the same true account. Like I'll log in as my username and password. I have access to both accounts. You would think there would just be a change channel button. No, it's too fucking easy. You have to download all your videos from YouTube, re-upload them all the way up to the new channel. So I've done that. So everything's on the Dancing Fetus channel now. But you know how I said there's never going to be another Dancing Fetus? I was wrong. Apparently the Dancing Fetus is a very popular name, and I've just been lucky enough to get it on everything because I was probably one of the first people to use it. Mm-hmm. There is like 15 different The Dancing Fetus pages because, you get a link, and so I wanted youtube.com/users/The Dancing Fetus like you have all goddammit. Mm-hmm. That's already been taken. And then I'm just like, all right. So I started just like playing around with names, and they've all been taken. So my link is www.youtube.com/users/The Dancing Fetus Games. Games is not the plural form, but the actual verb, because I am gaming. It's going to be fully gaming related. There's still going to be videos on my Luke Arp channel, but it's going to be more what I do, which is network engineering, IT, more tech stuff. I'm going to do some tutorial videos on how to subnet, because everyone teaches how to do that wrong. And it upsets me that more people don't know the joys of subnetting IPv4. If you don't, stay tuned on my channel. I'm going to go out tomorrow and probably buy a whiteboard and draw it out for you guys so you can learn the joy of subnetting like I do.
And then on the Dancing Fetus channel, you can watch him teabag headless corpses.
Yeah, that's what made me make the change. Seriously, like I watched my video for my Let's Play a Soldier of Fortune 3, and I'm just like, teabagging headless corpses. I literally sing a song like that. I'm like, this is probably painting me in a weird light to people that don't truly know me. So I'm like, this has got to come off my name.
Yeah.
I still go by Luke Arp on the channel. Like I start every video, hello internet, this is Luke Arp, but now I also do also known as the Dancing Fetus. I'm not ashamed of my videos. I just don't want some HR guy Google searching my name and seeing me teabag headless corpses. It's probably not the best of ideas.
Yeah.
And your I Goddammit channel is trucking awesomely. Actually, you have to go watch the series he's doing, Volgar the Viking.
if you want to see tons and tons of
It's a
deaths.
painful series, but it's a true series because you are watching a struggle. This is a struggle. You need to get like a guy with a deep voice to do like those fucking movie trailers for you. A story of a man.
I just wish that half those guys weren't dead now
Yeah, I know.
because they're awesome.
But
world.
but I mean, he's pretty much it's your true struggle in getting good at this game.
Yeah.
Like he pretty much he pwns the first level pretty well. You die a few times, but then he gets into the part of the game he's never played before, and it's just showing you like he's literally figuring shit out live on the screen because he's not watching videos, he's not watching tutorials on how to fight shit. He is like straight up. This is like 6 years old, getting ghouls and ghosts and learning it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting and entertaining to watch. Plus, he's starting to do live commentary instead of post commentary,
Yeah.
which I think is really going to enhance, especially a video series like that.
Yeah.
Really going to benefit from it. You got 2 Diablo videos up.
Yeah.
For Diablo 3
And
for
there will be
PS4.
a lot more probably coming this weekend.
You get to watch him as a badass monk.
Yes.
Monks, in the beginning, they're hard to level.
Yeah.
Like, because you have to get up close and personal, and you do not have the armor or the health to get up close and personal.
No, because the whole health mantra thing that I'm using, you don't get until very late in the game.
It is a hard thing. I started off playing a mage. Mages are OP as shit.
Which I want to try a Crusader. That's a
that's a new class?
He looks like a tank.
I wonder if he has syphilis and a gay son.
Probably. He probably is a syphilis gay son.
Oh, there you go.
And that's
Crusader,
cool.
Diablo 3, syphilis gay son.
I think I'll play with him. Maybe he's just one of those Christians.
Yeah. Oh.
He's a special breed.
But anything else coming up?
Let's see. I'm getting more and more of my Doom out.
Yep.
I will finally get the last part of Journey.
Yeah.
For everybody who wants to see the ending.
Yeah.
Oh god, the last like 15 minutes of the game that I've been holding out
Yeah.
for weeks. Dead Space will keep coming. Also, like Volgar will be at least a weekly thing, maybe twice a week if I can. Nostalgia Corner will be Medieval, and I'll probably do an extra episode since I haven't.
You're a fucking machine, man.
Haven't done it.
Like, yeah, he works in a factory. He lifts ovens all fucking day.
I build pedestals of ovens now.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
still.
But I
Like,
do
how
build.
do you find the time to do this? Like, my job is to sit and make sure Google still works.
You just keep F5 and all
Yeah.
day.
Like,
Yep.
Like my job consists of is the power still on at the location I'm at? Does my laptop still get charged? And does YouTube still play videos?
Yeah.
That's like 90% of my
Mine,
responsibilities.
To be honest, I come home and I work on a video. I usually will record anywhere from 20 minutes or so, and then I'm usually like when I was doing post commentary, I'd have to record the video, and then like open it in a like VLC, have it paused, go to Audacity, do a commentary of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's double time, and then I've got to encode it. And then upload it. And
And
I'm
my
usually
God,
working on
his
another video.
His
when I'm
encoding
encoding.
used to take like 4 hours for a 30-minute video.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I'd have to double encode.
and you still output more videos than me. That's so crazy. Like, I have like all the best setup for doing this, and I get like shamed.
The difference is you have a family. I don't have any family right now.
God damn,
So-
those kids holding me back.
Well, they're keeping your
They-
YouTube career at bay.
They better start making that coin soon.
You just teach them how to make their own YouTube videos.
You know, honestly, that they would probably outsubscribe me in a second. Just like Serenity Figures Out Shit. That's my daughter's name. And just like make a YouTube channel, Serenity Figures Out Shit, and just give her something that she's never used before. Film her figuring out what it is.
No.
Probably would destroy.
If you monetize that, you'd probably make you'd be a millionaire within like a year.
Well, 2 weeks. Be on the lookout for Serenity Figures Out Shit on YouTube, because I have no problem whoring out my children for my own profit
Well,
again.
kids, they get a lot of hits.
Yep.
Not beating.
Well, Serenity is kind of an asshole. She gets her fair share of
Well, I
hits.
mean, like, a million hits. That's not what we meant.
My child's not that big of an asshole. She's getting like very prima donna-y though. She's very drama queen-esque.
She's at the age.
So, yeah, she's 3. She'll be turning 4 in September.
But yeah, I'll keep churning stuff out like butter.
I'm trying to get 3 videos a week. I'm trying to get 2 videos for Soldier of Fortune because it's by far the easiest for me to do because I literally walk through a level.
And if you haven't watched the Soldier, it's so much fun to watch. I seriously, every time I see that pop up in my subscription feed, I'm just like giddy with joy. It's awesome.
And I'm to the point of the game now where I don't know what's going on because I haven't ever played this far. I was originally playing on challenging, but I totally fucked up a video where I literally did an entire video, but you kind of have to hit record.
Yeah.
I didn't record. It auto-saved over to the next level, so I downloaded a save game file that someone else had posted up because I didn't want to redo. I would have to redo like every level in the game to get back to where I was. So I downloaded a save file to not do that, and it was on medium, which is the difficulty down. The game's a shit ton easier, and honestly, it's probably a lot more fun to play because I'm not dying all the time, and I'm just blowing faces off. It's pretty fun. I try to do 2 of those, and then I will be doing a When the Hell Did I Buy This on, I can't remember the name of the game. It's kind of weird. It's called like Chantalize. It's a weird anime game. I'm not really liking it.
So that means it's gonna be twice as funny.
Hate is a strong word. I'm hating my experience with this game. I don't know if I hate the game. I'm literally hating the experience of playing it because I can't play it with a controller. Every controller I hook up to my computer, it makes the camera just spin in circles. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I've used a PS4 controller. I've used a PS4 controller with DS4 tool. I've used just a straight Snakebite controller with just standard gamepad drivers. I've used a Logitech F like 130 or 310, I forget what it is, controller. I've used a wired Xbox 360 controller. This game won't fucking work with a controller, so I'm having to use a keyboard for everything. It's like moving the camera and doing all the inputs, and I just don't like doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not having fun playing the game, but it might get better. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to play it like 30 minutes in and then start recording and giving my thoughts on it because I'm lazy. Like, my 30-minute game videos take me 30 minutes to make. And so I have an hour and a half of work to do. And, like, I render super fast because I got, like, a badass OpenCL video card that Vegas just chews with. And I still cannot output near as fast as you do.
Well, I had those 2 videos I put out last night. The Diablo 3 and the Doom 3.
And you need to check out, and like I said, all his videos are going to start having live commentary.
Yeah, which means I'll get them done even quicker.
Yeah, so it's his post commentary is good, but I think the live commentary is really going to take it up because you're in the game, you're experiencing the game with him.
Yeah, and organically, I think it works better. I'll be able to space out my talking.
Yeah,
because when you're doing post, trust me, you're talking to yourself, so you're just filling the gap, the time gap with words.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to think of things to say all the time, and
because you're not thinking about anything but talking. Yeah. You're not playing the game.
Yeah, you're not playing the game. But if you're paying attention to the game, then your reactions are genuine.
But
so I think it'll be neat. Also, I can be able to play some horror games now.
Yeah.
Be able to play some scurry shit.
Scurry.
Scurry. I'm scared.
But, I mean, we're all trucking along on this YouTube. I have 2 subscribers on my new The Dancing Fetus channel. One of them is Odd Goddammit. The second one is me. I've subscribed to myself because I like my videos.
Well,
boom. Subscribe. So, Luke Arf is a subscriber, so you should be too.
Yep.
Odd Goddammit, 28 subscribers, still trucking along.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of views on his Diablo shit. It's good shit. You guys should check it out too.
It'll get better with the live commentary.
But this has been our 3rd podcast episode, a special 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
We're probably going to maybe go to a 2-hour format from now on instead of the 1 hour. And more mindless ramblings next week. We're also thinking about doing titles for our podcast. What could this be?
This one will be probably, I mean, I don't know if we want to put the Quinn
Succubus
Gate.
from Hell?
I don't know. Because I don't think we want to put like Quinn Gate in it because we might get like
banned.
I don't really want to lose my channel.
Yeah.
Just getting started.
Yeah. We'll make a title. It'll be neat.
Maybe like, you know, Dev Succubi, and then like comma, and then we'll go into like
Something.
Sony Why No Vita. Why you no love Vita, and then
Yeah. So,
but we'll think of something.
well, we'll have a title. It'll be cheeky, or we'll just like get pissed and make it episode 3. Yeah. Well, sometimes we just say fuck it.
Less creativity.
But I'm Luke Harp, the Dancing Fetus,
I'm all goddamn it.
and this has been podcast episode 3. Have a good night. See you next time.
Woo!